Alrighty, we're gonna do another Shadowrun stream here. I already kind of have like the beginning part loaded up, so it's gonna take place slightly afterwards, after the last stream, the next day around noon in a Seattle cafe. Let's see what else is going on here. Gear notes, current heat. Oh, we got some team pressure reduced by the anonymous Lone Star tip framing Candle, but not erased. Candle retaliation risk increased. Well, fuck them. Downtown. Oh, wait, new downtime change. Day job cover lost. Okay, that's kind of spoilery. All right. So the cafe is the kind of place that survives by being forgettable. Cheap soy calf, bad chrome tables, rain-streaked windows looking out on Seattle Street, where every passing Americar looks like it belongs to either a tired wage slave, a tail, or both. The trid mounted over the counter has the color balance wrong, turning everyone's skin a little corpse blue. Nobody complains, because complaining costs energy. Ultranova 5000 sits with a drink going lukewarm in front of him, and the aftertaste of unemployment still sitting in his mouth. The day job had been useful, not good, not meaningful, just useful. A reason to be somewhere in the daylight, a reason for neighbors, landlords, databases, and board security clerks to see a man with the schedule instead of a runner with too much free time, and enough new in to make questions dangerous. The termination message still sits in his pocket secretary. Thank you for your flexibility during restructuring. Your position has been eliminated. We wish you success in your next opportunity. That's fucking cold, but okay. Corp language, soft as a pillow over the face. Then the news cuts in. A blonde anchor with perfect teeth and no visible conscience looks into the camera while the iron crawls beneath her smile. Iron? Chiron? I don't know that word. That's right, I'm a dummy. I don't know what that is. Tacoma Relay Office Massacre. Lone Star investigates organized crime angle. Grainy aerial footage shows the edge of the relay building from the dead channel's job. Not the whole thing, just enough. Flashing lights, a covered body, a tow drone winching, a damaged sedan with a chewed up engine compartment. Lone Star uniforms walking slow and careful, the way cops walk when they know the cameras are on. The anchor says, 3 unidentified men were found dead at the scene. Possible organized crime involvement, illegal acquisition crew, anonymous criminal intelligence tip, person of interest using the alias Candle. Wow, they leaked that to the media? That part lands different. Your packet hits the system, not perfectly, not cleanly, but hard enough that somebody in the Lone Star office decided Candle made a better headline than unknown armed runners butcher 3 men and vanish with the mystery case. Then the report gets worse in a quiet way. A second Chiron crawls under the first. Security firms warn clients to audit camera loops after Tacoma incident. Okay. That means somebody noticed the camera spoofing was fragile. Maybe not yours specifically, maybe enough to start looking. The trid shifts to a public safety expert in a gray suit. He talks about rising shadow activity, illegal private contractors, deniable corporate theft, and how ordinary citizens should report suspicious vehicles, drone activity, or people asking too many questions around industrial lots. The cafe keeps humming. Cups clink. Someone laughs too loud near the door. Outside, the rain turns neon. The rain turns neon signs into bleeding watercolor. In your pocket, secretary buzzes once. Not a call. A text only ping through one of the dirty numbers. Glass rat. Saw the news. Don't get famous. A second later. Also, if Candle had friends, they just got nervous. No job offer attached. No threat. Just the kind of message fixers send when they want you to know that board moved and they're not responsible for where the pieces land. Across the cafe, a trid commercial starts selling career transition support to laid off workers. The smiling host says opportunity begins with change. Ultranova 5000 has a clear day schedule, about 25,000 UN, no wounds, a noisy recon drone, a thinner legal cover, and the name Candle now burning in the wrong people's mouth. What does Ultranova do with the next block of downtime? Obvious handles are lay low and watch the news cycle, repair the drone. I'm definitely going to repair the drone. I don't know why it tells me what to do. There's a little picture. Let's see if I can make that picture bigger over here. Put it. All right, so like it looks like I'm not really watching the news, even though I'm supposed to.
What is up, guys?
It's like I kind of don't care, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of just there, like, whoa. I love the little fire notice. It's like I haven't pointed away, but it's pointing towards the camera. You gotta love the image generation. I'm just gonna put him down there. There we go, until like the next scene. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go home and tell the wife about the cover job, and then start repairing the drone. The plan is to lay low for a couple of days. I might contact Neverconquer even though he's not in the chat, just because I have an idea involving his character, and what that idea is, wait. Ultranova contacts Neverconquer and proposes a Lone Star bribe using Neverconquer's security connections. Oh wait, no, I can retcon this. It's already a thing. Let's see, retcon. Neverconquer has a Lone Star security bribe that he gives for intel and to get rid of some heat. It's I'm gonna make it 2,000 a month. Puts half of that in. Okay, so yeah. So Neverconquer he pays Lone Star a security bribe, basically. Like he's got people in there. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that one. Even though Neverconquer's not here right now, I just want to make that part of his character trait. I'll tell him when he gets here, because I think that'll be, or if he gets here. Next time I see him, I'll be like, hey man, yeah, by the way, we're bribing the cops. It's just smart to do. Let's see now, the music I'm listening to is Ninja Gaiden Synth Wave. Gonna try to keep the music, what's it called, AI generated. I wonder if it has to roll for the what's it called, the Lone Star Insider. Anytime, AI, anytime. Well, again, I guess it's got a lot of story to compress here, because there's got to do the whole like I go home and tell the wife that I don't have my cover job anymore. Man, this Ninja Gaiden soundtrack, hell yeah. I just realized I spelled it, instead of Lone Star, I spelled it Long Star. That's okay, and the AI usually understands what I'm trying to get at. Well, I guess while that's loading, I might as well look at, let's see. Man, I only have a 1 in my karma pool, really? How do I level that up? No action performed. What? I'm just gonna ask him, man, like, hey, man. Oh, good. I'm glad you had a tool hiccup. That's great.
Hey, Meta. Cold player.
Ah.
Hello.
Did the retcon mess it up? Is that what killed the AI? Okay, so the Lone Star bribe worked. It's just got to write the fiction now. Or is it going to rewrite the first scene because of the bribe retcon? Is that going to affect the news report? Oh, why is the AI crapping out on me right now? Come on. Come on. Okay, here we go. Damn, took 6 minutes to figure out that retcon. Neverconquer maintains a paid Lone Star Security side contract retainer. Low-grade intel, warning pings, quiet handling of minor heat, steering attention when plausible. Not a magic eraser for murder evidence, ballistics, camera audits, or major homicide pressure. Well, we split that one, so that ain't too bad. So I lost some money, but that's okay. And so did Never Conquer. That's fine. It's worth it. Ultranova 5000 leaves the cafe before the news cycle can start feeling like it's talking directly to him. Seattle noon has the color of dishwasher. Oh wait, dishwater. The rain has backed off into a cold mist that beads on jacket shoulders, windshield glass, and the black plastic shell of the drone case in his passenger seat. The city looks normal in the most suspicious way possible. Buses wheezing, delivery drones buzzing, wage slaves speed walking under cheap umbrellas. Everyone pretending the bodies on the morning news are somebody else's problem. Home smells better than the street. Stale coffee, baby soap, a hint of incense from Cosmic Spiderweb's corner of the place, where little bundles of feathers, desert stones, and half-burned candles sit like a private weather system. Ultra Baby is down for a nap, mercifully. The apartment is quiet enough that the bad news has room to breathe. Nova tells his wife about the cover job. Not like it hurts, not exactly, but it changes the shape of the day. No fake schedule, no wage slave alibi. No, I was at work if someone looks too hard at the wrong hours. More time to make real money, sure. More time to be seen having too much time, too. Cosmic Spiderweb listens with the look she gets when she's hearing the words and whatever is moving behind them. Losing the cover does not scare me, she says softly, keeping her voice low for the baby. You're not replacing it before the city notices. Notices does. What? Okay, you not replacing it before the city notices does. Okay. She does not tell him to stop running. She knows better. Bills do not care about morality. And Seattle does not hand out clean choices to people who weren't born with the corporate logo stamped on their soul. Then Ultranova 5000 tells her the other part. Never Conquer's Lone Star line a security side bribe. $2,000 a month. Ultranova covers half. It buys warning, not absolution. Cosmic's mouth tightens at the word Lone Star. That kind of friend is a rat in a church wall, she says. Useful, hungry, never holy. Wow. By early afternoon, Ultranova has the flying recon drone spread open on the table under a cheap work lamp. Rotor housing off, bearings exposed. Fine grit from rainwater and rooftop filth caught in the assembly line like black sand. The little machine had done its job, but it had come back sounding like a dying hairdryer. He cleans the rotor shaft, reseats the bearing, tightens the mount, checks the signal board, and runs the motor at a low spin while keeping one eye on the apartment window. For a while it is just small work, honest work, screws, plastic, wires, the kind of repair where the whole sixth world narrows down to whether your fingers can make the machine behave. Then the drone's whine drops from obvious legal toy to bad ventilation fan 2 rooms over. Good enough for shadow work. All right, let's see. I rolled this. We rolled on rotor bearing. It looks like we had 2 success. It is repaired enough to be reliable for reliable serious use. But the rotor whine is still there, though. It's just reduced. All right. Oh, near 3 o'clock. Never Conquer pings. No theatrics, no emoji, just a clipped voice message the way a man talks when he still thinks like paperwork might testify against him. Payments handled. My star contact says the relay scene is getting sorted as an organized crime acquisition hit. Your candle packet landed not clean, but it gave them a name they like better than unknown runners. Then he pauses. Bad news. Camera audit tickets exist. Someone noticed the relay footage has seams. Not enough to ID us, enough that if anybody already had our names, they could start matching habits. Another pause. Also, Candle's name being in the building means Candle may hear about it. From a clerk, from somebody who likes money. Laying low is the right call. Yeah, we need to lay low. The rest of the day gets small on purpose. No bars, no calls from known hangouts, no celebrating the payout, no flashy purchases, no streaming from anywhere with a window view. Kind of quiet that feels cowardly when you're young and professional, when you live long enough. By evening, the Trid News has already softened the story. Less massacre, more organized crime angle, more expert panels, more Lone Star promising public safety with the moral confidence of a company that invoices by the hour. But once, just once, During a late broadcast, Ultranova 5000 catches a sentence that matters. Authorities are also investigating whether the Tacoma violence connects to the recent circulation of unauthorized analog media artifacts under several underground music labels. Glass Rat's case, Saint Static, Dead Channels, not forgotten, just buried under better headlines. Okay, so the downtime, end of day 1. Light settles over the apartment. Ultra Baby sleeps. Cosmic keeps one candle burning too long near the window. The repaired drone sits folded on the table like a little metal bat, ready to go back to the rain when the city asks for blood again. For now, the plan holds. Lay low. Let other people make noise. Okay, so that's technically the end, but it's like bugging out. Hold on a second. Gotta refresh. Okay, now I can... let's see. Let's have... I'll lay low for like a week. Then while also getting a good like mask and gloves. Yeah. Oh wait, I also get groceries. There we go. Exciting. Shadowrun. Getting groceries. Milk runs. I'm going to assume my character also keeps looking at the news. Mainly because that makes sense. Damn, groceries are $350. A mask is $250. Okay, so I don't need charge for like extra food. Damn, it costs that much to do groceries. So I'm eating candy. Ultranova does not vanish dramatically. That is amateur work. Dramatic disappearance leave a shape. He just becomes boring. For a week, the apartment turns into a quiet machine. Groceries come in under normal patterns. Soy staples. Soy staples? Oh, I see. Soy staples. Noodles, rice, baby supplies, bottled water, cheap fruit that tastes like refrigerated perfume. A few real vegetables Cosmic insists on because she says a person can't live forever on protein paste and spite. The runner supplies come slower and cleaner. Not one big buy, not one suspicious trip. A pharmacy here, a hardware store there, a street vendor with knockoff rainwear, a surplus stall with gloves that do not leave clean prints, a mask good enough to break facial recognition at a glance without looking like a man about to rob a place, cheap overclothes, wipes, wipes, tape, batteries, solvent, plastic bags, a little pouch of things that normal people only own by accident, and criminals organized by category. At home, Ultranova 5000 keeps his schedule dead simple. No nightlife, no bragging, no open matrix chatter. No obvious digging in the candle. The repair drone stays inside except for a short apartment window tests. The Ruger gets clean, or the Ruger gets clean, reloaded, and put away where it can be reached but not found casually. Cosmic Spiderweb watches the whole routine with the calm of somebody who understands that domestic life and criminal life are not opposites in Seattle. They are two rooms in the same burning house, Ultra Baby sleeps, eats, cries, laughs. Remains the only person in the apartment with a clean conscience. Then the news cycle moves on by inches. Day 2, the Tacoma relay murders are still on the public feed, but lower. Day 3, a city councilman yells about unlicensed mercenary violence and then gets drowned out by an technology food contamination scandal. Okay. Lone Star, okay, day 4, Lone Star announces no arrests. Day 5, the words candle and organized acquisition crew show up in a shadowboard rumor thread. Detached from any clean sources, that means the name has leaked into the street bloodstream. Day 6, Glass Rat sends one message. Quiet is good, stay that way. Day 7, Never Conquer's Lone Star contact gives one useful pulse through the pay channel. No active warrant names on you. Relay case is ugly, but it's pointed sideways right now. Camera audit is still open. Somebody in the chain thinks there was at least 3 outside shooters, no face IDs. The last part is good, not safe. Good, Seattle does not hand out safe. So we did 7 days. I laid home, laid low, spent 750. Jesus. Oh, we reloaded my gun. That was smart. Ruger Warhawk reloaded. Repaired the drone. That's kind of what I wanted. At the end of the week, Ultranova 5000 has more time than cover. More money than most wage slaves and less safety than any of them would envy. The apartment is stocked. The drone is quiet. The gun is loaded. The mask and gloves sit in a drawer like a promise. Then, late morning on the 8th day, the house line rings once and stops. Fixer's courtesy ping. Not an emergency, not yet. A few seconds later, the pocket secretary receives a text from Glass Rat. Got something if you're done pretending to be dead. Not dead channels, different lane, real corpse site, real money, also real walls. The second message follows. Meet or ignore, your call. Corpse site, huh? That might be a little too much to chew. Let's give him a call. Call him on a public phone. Holy crap, I might have to hire Real. Get him involved in this run. Like when I eat a candy, it loads like much faster. When I'm not eating a candy, it takes forever. Ultranova waits until the apartment has gone quiet again. Then he leaves without making it look like leaving for anything important. No drone, no long coat, no runner face. Just street clothes, cheap gloves, rain hood, and the kind of walk that says, Aaron, not me. He goes blocks away before choosing the public telecom. Old casing, scratched screen, sticker residue, busted ad loop for illegal stimulants flickering at the edge of the display. Good enough. Better than calling from home, better than letting the apartment become a node in anybody's story. The rain is light but cold. Traffic hisses past. Somewhere above, a delivery drone drifts between buildings with the bored menace of a corporate insect. Ultranova slots cred, punches the dirty number and waits 1 ring, 2, On the third, Glass Rat answers. Not his real voice, never his real voice. It comes through filtered thin like it crawled out of a cassette deck. You're alive! That's statistically inconvenient for several people. A burst of line noise, maybe traffic, maybe masking. Good choice using Streetbox. Don't say your address, don't say the baby's name, don't say anything cute. Glass Rat lets that hang and then gets to business. Job's real. Not dead channels, not haunted media direct, no corpse on cassette. Corporate site, physical walls, camera, maglocks, patrol pattern, host access, the whole grown-up sinners buffet. A bus rolls by, throwing dirt water across the curb. The public phone's plastic shell rattles. Client wants a data package lifted from a secure research annex in Everett. Not a skyscraper crown jewel, not a stuffer shack back room. Mid-grade corporate, black box office attached to a light industrial facility. 3 floors above ground. 1 restricted basement. Matrix host on site. Local security contact. Astral spot checks once per night. Whoa, fuck, there's magic? Crap. He pauses. The thing is called Project Sundog. Client says it's a personal movement, procurement trails, and internal test footage. They don't want a smash and grab. They want proof copied clean and the original system looking boring afterward. Oh, it fucking pays though. Then the price. Base pay is $28,000 total for the crew. Bonus $8,000 if no alarm reaches outside response before you're gone. Extra $5,000 if you can identify where the project is being moved to next. Half up front if you accept the meat and the Johnson likes your face. Standard fixer cut already baked into the quote. Glass Rat's voice drops half a notch. Reason I'm calling you. This one has doors, real ones. Your crew has been asking the city for a proper corporate site without kicking the front lobby of a mega tower. This is that. But you're still warm from Tacoma and Candle's name is in the wind. I don't know if this job touches Candle. I do know quiet work helps repair reputations better than disappearing forever. A click, a shift in the line. Johnson meet us tonight or tomorrow. Neutral location. Public enough to discourage stupidity. Private enough to talk. You can bring Never Conquer. I would. His Lone Star stink is useful when the job involves security procedures. Glass Rat does not oversell it. That is why he's worth calling. You want the meat? I said it. You want more lay low time? I'll tell the client you're unavailable. You want to ask one question before deciding? Ask it. And ask it now and keep it clean. I'm just gonna say, look. I'm not a stealthy guy.
They'll do anything to keep the
How many? There we go. Let's tell him like, hey man, I'm not a stealthy guy. If you want something done with no bodies, I'm kind of not the guy. Glass Rat is quiet for half a second, not offended, measuring. Then the filtered voice crackles back through the public telecom. That's why I called you before I wasted your night. Traffic hisses behind Ultron over the telecom booth, smells like wet plastic, old cigarettes, and somebody else's bad decisions. Client wants clean, not pacifist. There's a difference. No alarm to outside responses, no bodies that make the site go into the murder lockdown, no execution pile in the lobby. If some rent-a-cop gets his bell rung, cuffed, tranked, flashbanged, or convinced he picked the wrong shift, that life in the security business. Okay. A click. Glass Rat is probably pulling a note file. Prelim says after hours site count is probably 8 to 14 warm bodies depending on shift change. That's not counting cameras, locks, drones, host security, and anything the corp forgot to mention because corps lie like they breathe. He breaks it down. Expected after hours physical security, 4 to 6 contact guards, 2 outside perimeter adjacent, 1 desk supervisor, maybe 1 response driver nearby. There's a spider or night host operator somewhere in the chain. Astral spot check once per night. Not a full-time mage on site. Staff during business hours is much higher. 20 to 30, maybe more, but most are civilians with badges and coffee addictions. Another pause. So no, this is not 1 sleepy guard and a door. It's also not a Renraku arcology assault. It's a corporate annex. Real sight, real patrols, real ways in. The voice gets flatter. Your value is not being a ghost. Your value is that the plan goes sideways, you don't fold. But if your opening move is I kill every uniform I see, I send this to somebody else, and you go buy groceries for another week. Then almost amused, bring never conquer. If you take the meat, let the sneaky people make the first hole. You can be the ugly insurance policy. All right, Glass Rat lets the line bruise. So, want the meat, or do I tell the Johnson you are not the crew for polite burglary? Let's see now. I'm gonna contact Real. I tell him only Real is active right now. That at least gives me 2 characters. I don't know if that's enough to really hit this. To hit a corp, but I'm also kind of like, we also just killed a bunch of people. I'd rather do like a corp run and see if we can make like the real money. Hopefully we can see if there's like it's a 3-story building, so that means it's a proper dungeon. Ultranova says it playing into the wet plastic receiver. Only Real is active, right? Wait, that's me. Only Real is active right now to help. So if this needs a full ghost crew, I'm telling you now, that's not what I've got. Glass Rat exhales through the voice filter, comes through the static, dragged over broken glass. Real. Pause, not confusion, recognition. The action movie guy with the katana habit and forensic footprint shaped like bad judgment? Rain ticks against the side of the telecom housing. A woman with an umbrella passes too close, glances at Ultranova, keeps walking. Glass Rat continues. That changes the job profile. Ultranova plus Real is not polite burglary crew. That is a decker rigger with a revolver and a street samurai who tends to solve rooms permanently. Useful, dangerous, not subtle. The line clicks twice. Somewhere on Glass Rat's end, something old and analog is being handled. Could you still do it? Maybe, but not the way the Johnson wants it pitched. Not with the current intel. 2-man entry against 8 to 14 bodies, camera host, security locks, and a possible astral pass. That is not impossible. It's just the kind of possible that leaves news vans outside by morning. His voice drops lower. With Real, the plan becomes one of 3 shapes. 1, you get more talent. A lock and sneak type, face, a mage. 2, you turn the job into a deception job. Badges, work orders, spoofed access. Get inside looking boring with Real's emergency violence. 3, you tell the Johnson up front that your crew can do hard extraction under pressure. But clean and no body conditions cost extra and need more time. A little humor creeps in, dry and ugly. What I am not doing is telling the Johnson, sure, no alarms when the active bench is you and Mr. Garbage Day. That's fair. Then Glass Rat gets practical. I can still set the meat, but I would frame it honestly. You're not accepting the run yet. You are hearing the brief and deciding whether the conditions match the crew. The Johnson wants miracle stealth. You walk. If the Johnson wants competent criminals who can adapt when security gets teeth, maybe there's room. Another pause. I can also ask whether they will pay for a subcontractor. No promises. Good ghosts cost money. Cheap ghosts are called missing persons.
Hey, Meta.
You know what? We might actually need like a 3rd person on this one, because I don't think going in 2 people for like a corp run is kind of ridiculous. Especially if I'm going to be the hacker. So what do you want me to tell him? Meet only with crew limitations disclosed, ask for subcontractor money, or pass before this thing becomes another Tacoma? I might have to pass on this job, man. This is too much. Okay. I'm going to say if Glass Rat doesn't have any working jobs suiting Ultranova and Real. And Ultra's gonna just go like, he's just gonna do some legwork. Near CD. And put it so that if I don't get another job from Glass Rat, we're gonna do some legwork in some seedy parts of town. There we go. For Rumors or a Johnson. Because I'm not taking a corp run. Not with two people. Also, I feel like that would take forever. It would probably take like 6 hours to do. It would be ridiculous. I need a smaller run. Something easy. Something quick. I'm assuming that Glass Rat does not have another job for us. It looks like Ultranova's going to have to find one. So that shouldn't be too much. There should be like, there's got to be some kind of like wheelman muscle job out there that Ultranova and Real can do pretty easily. I need to roll a die. Just one? Alright, Ultranova tells Glass Rat he is passing. Not angry, not dramatic, just business. I'm not taking a clean corpse site job with only Real active. That's how I end up on the trit again. If you get something that fits a tech wheelman and a hard hitter, call me. Glass Rat gives a dry little laugh through the filter. Good, self-awareness. Rare disease. I'll tell the Johnson you're not the right knife for that throat. Pause. I do not have a clean replacement job today. Not one I would put your name on. I can keep an ear open for ugly work with honest expectations. The line clicks dead. So Ultranova goes looking the old way. Not runner boards first, not fixer menus, streets. It works the edges of town where the neon gets cheaper and the security responses get slower. Tacoma side bars with flickering beer signs, a coffin motel lobby where the clerk has one cyber eye and no interest in morality. A noodle counter wedged between a pawn cage and a BTL parlor, places where people speak in half sentences because full sentences can testify. He does not ask who needs criminals. Everybody needs criminals. He asks who needs criminals who can drive, hack, break electronics, scout with drones, and bring one very fast bastard with a gun and a blade. That narrows it. A ganger tries to tell him a stolen cyberdeck that is obviously a ganger tries to sell him a stolen cyberdeck that is obviously a children's educational terminal in a spray painted case. A burned out mage whispers about a corp ghost truck under the Spokane Street viaduct, then asks for 20 Newen and forgets what year it is. A woman in a long red coat says the name Candle too loudly, sees Ultranova 5000 notice and immediately decides she has somewhere else to be. That one sticks. Candle is in the rumor water now, but so is work. Near evening in the back room of the dive called the Bent Nail, Ultranova gets a real bite from a bartender with prison tattoos and a data jack sealed under scar tissue. Name is Mako. He knows Glass Rat's name but does not claim friendship. That is a good sign. Alright, so I'm talking to a bartender now? Mako wipes down a glass that will never be clean and nods towards a booth with a dead overhead light. Word is you got wheel and machine brain. Word is your friend is the kind of man who makes other men remember appointments. He pours something down into a plastic cup. There's a woman asking for a 2-person crew. No choir boys, no cat burglars. She wants a stolen vehicle found, followed, and taken back. Maybe the cargo too, depending who still has a pulse. She said, bring a driver tech and muscle. That you? Well, that sounds exactly suited for us, actually. Let's see, so my legwork, how much money did I spend? About 150? Okay, I spent 150 on the legwork buying food and drinks and shit. How much time passed, does it tell me? No. But I succeeded though. It used my etiquette, my street etiquette, and I rolled a 6, which beats the 4, so that gives me 1 success. Mako gives the shape of it. A low to mid street Johnson using the name Mrs. Bass wants a stolen armored courier van recovered from a shop crew before the vehicle disappears into parts. The van was carrying sealed industrial control modules. Not gold, not drugs, not organs. The modules are valuable because they belong to somebody who cannot admit they lost them. The van was last seen being moved through South Tacoma toward the old garage row near Dead Rail Spur. Expected opposition. A chop crew, maybe 6 to 10 bodies, some armed, probably 1 decent mechanic, maybe cheap cameras, and a dog brain turret if they are smarter than they look. Not a white glove job, no body work. Johnson wants the van back if possible. Modules definitely. Quiet is better, but speed matters more. 18,000, that ain't bad. Split 2 ways? Maybe more if the van is intact and the modules are unopened. Mako leans in. Mrs. Bass is meeting crews tonight. She is not a court princess, more like someone who solves court princess problems before the princess has to call daddy. You want the booth? I send word. You do not want it? Keep drinking and forget my face. Mako waits behind the bar. No pressure, no sales pitch, just Seattle. Alright. I'm gonna call Real on a street pay phone and tell him I may have work. Then we tell Mako to... Oh wait, how do I word this? Oh wait, I know. We'll tell Mako to introduce us to the lady. There we go. And Ultranova does not call Real from the bar. Too many ears, too many mirrors, too many people who make a living remembering. Too many people who make a living remembering. Oh, they make a living remembering who talked to whom right before something caught fire. He walks 2 blocks through cold rain to street telecom, wedged beside the boarded laundromat. The receiver is sticky. The screen is cracked ad for discount SimSense therapy looping in the corner. He calls Real. 3 rings, then Real's voice awake and amused. This better be either money or an apology for someone I scared. Ultranova keeps it clean. May have work. Van recovery. Chop shop crew. Not a ghost job. Driver tech and muscle. There's a short silence on the line, then a little rustle like Real is already standing up. Finally, something with verbs. Where? Ultranova gives him the neighborhood, not the full meat details. Real gets it. I'll come ugly, but not loud. 15, maybe 20. Don't shake hands with anyone missing too many teeth unless I'm there to count them. The line dies. Ultranova heads back to the bent nail. Mako is still behind the bar, still wiping the same glass, still failing to improve it. When Ultranova tells him to make the introduction, the bartender's eyes shift once toward the door, once toward the corner cameras, once toward the booth with the dead overhead light. Two-man crew, Ultranova confirms. Mako grunts. You don't pretend to be ninjas, good. I hate dead liars. Sit in the back. Do not order anything blue. Real arrives 17 minutes later. He looks like trouble that learned to dress casual. Dark jacket, hard eyes, street calm posture. One of those smiles that says he finds danger funny but not surprising. He clocks the exit before he clocks Ultranova, then he slides into the booth like he owns half the room and is willing to dispute the other half. You always pick romantic places. Before Ultranova can answer, Mako comes over and drops 2 cheap plastic cups on the table. You two are being introduced. That means you listen first. If she says no, you leave. If you say no, you leave. If anybody decides tonight is audition night for their murder hobby, I'll call people worse than cops. Then he leaves. 5 minutes later, Mrs. Brass arrives. She's not dressed like a Johnson in a trid. No mirror shades, no white suit, no corporate perfume cloud. She wears a rain dark overcoat, boots with the real mud on them, and a cheap scarf that does not match anything. Late 30s, maybe older if the stress is due. You know, I want an image of this. Okay. We'll have that go on while I read this stuff. Okay. Okay, late 30s, maybe older if the stress is doing some of the work. Her left hand is cyber, matte brass colored plate worn at the joints, not decorative. Old replacement, practical, the kind of chrome somebody got after a bad day and kept using. Fits without asking. Her eyes go to Ultranova first, then Real. Mako says you can drive, work electronics, and think under pressure, then to Real. And you can make armed men reconsider employment. Real gives her a pleasant little nod. I help people find new careers. Mrs. Brass does not smile. Good. I need a stolen courier van recovered from a chop crew before sunrise. Vehicle matters. Cargo matters more. She places a small plastic chip case on the table but keeps 2 fingers on it. The van is a Briggs Sterling armored courier conversion. Not military corporate logistic. It was hit during a fake roadwork stop south of Tacoma. Crew survived because the hijackers used gas and shock batons instead of bullets. That means the thieves wanted cargo intact and attention low. She taps the chip case once. Inside were sealed industrial control modules, 6 of them. Black housing, serial tags removed from the manifest before transit. They are not weapons, narcotics, or Bioware. They are boring enough that police will not understand why they matter and expensive enough that my client wants them back without explaining anything. Industrial control modules? Okay. Outside thunder rolls low on over Tacoma. Last reliable sightings puts the van near an old garage row off a dead rail spur. Chop shop crew called the Rivet Dogs. 6 to 10 bodies, armed mechanic boss. Likely cheap cameras, possibly a dog brain turret or drone mount. They were paid better than usual. Real leans back. Rules on the bodies? Mrs. Brass looks at him directly. I prefer fewer. I'm not paying for a morality play. But if you turn it into a massacre, the heat may bury the cargo before you get paid. This is recovery work, fast, practical, deniable. Then the money. Base pay $18,000 for all 6 modules delivered. Sealed. At $4,000 if the van is recovered drivable and not burned. At $3,000 if you identify who hired the Rivet Dogs. Half up front on acceptance, balance on delivery. He slides the chip case halfway across the table. This contains the van description, last known route, transponder frequency fragment, and 2 exterior spills from before the hijack. No full police file. No client name. You get that after you prove yourself, not before. Real glances at Ultranova, then at the chip. This sounds like actual work. Mrs. Brass folds her brass hand over her flesh one. It is, and it expires by sunrise. After that, the van is parts. The modules are sold and everyone pretends this conversation never happened. So what time is it? Safely call. Okay, Real. No. Current crew. So we just got to recover a stolen van with 6 6 industrial control modules, huh? That's almost done with the picture. Mrs. Brass watches Ultranova over the chip case. You accepting the brief, negotiating, or walking? Okay, cool. It got the bartender and everything. And it kind of kept my character looking the same. I'm amazed. I'm amazed it had the continuity. Alright, let's look at this picture here. We're just all hanging out here. He's got kind of a Silverhawks, like, what's it called? Hand and everything. Bent nail. I love how it somehow crammed all the characters into this one shot, too. Put that like there. There we go. We can bleed it over a little bit. There we go. We can try negotiating. I'm gonna try to negotiate a better deal and get more info. My god, did I lose my character sheet? Here we go. Ultranova does not reach for the chip yet. He lets Miss Brass see him thinking, then leans forward just enough that the bad overhead light catches the cyber in his face. You said before sunrise. That means you're not buying a favor, you're buying speed. 2-man crew, short clock, unknown employer, stolen armored van, top shop guns, possible turret, and cargo you won't name. Taps the table once beside the chip case. 18 is low if you want the module sealed and the van drivable. You want tech and muscle because this is already too hot for polite people, so I need a better deal and better intel before I put my name on it. Real says nothing. That helps more than a threat would. He just watches Mrs. Brass with that calm, ugly patience, like he's already deciding who gets to limp away if the night goes wrong. Mrs. Brass does not flinch. Her brass hand stays on the chip case. You are not wrong. That is not the same thing as agreement. But you are also 2 men from a bar, not a full asset team with a mage, second vehicle, and a dedicated overwatch. I'm not paying you like an elite 6-person extraction crew. That's fair. He slides the chip case back an inch, not away, just enough to remind Ultranova she still owns the next move. So here is the better offer. Base remains 18,000 for all 6 sealed modules, but I raised the van bonus from 4,000 to 6,000. It comes back drivable. I also raised a hiring source bonus from 3,000 to 5,000 if you bring me a name, pay data, or a living witness credible enough to point uphill. Real's eyebrows move a millimeter. A living witness? No, he points, his eyebrows go up because of the living witness thing. I guess we might have to take captives. Mrs. Brass continues, advance stays half base, 9,000 total up front. But I will escrow the balance with Mako before you leave this room. If I die, vanish, or get told to pretend I never met you, he releases payment on delivery proof. Mako behind the bar does not look up. For a fee, he says. Mrs. Brass ignores him. You want more information? Fine. She opens the chip case herself and turns the plastic wafer so the dim table light catches the embedded contact. The van transponder went dead 12 minutes after the hijack, but not cleanly. Last broken ping was near South 56th and the old Burlington rail spur. There are 4 garage rows there. 2 are abandoned. One is a chop row. One is a shell business called Klein Agricultural Repair, which has not repaired anything agricultural since before the first Matrix crash. He counts off with her brass fingers. Rivet dogs are not a big gang. They're a chop crew with teeth. Leader is probably Deke Boss, Orc Male. Mechanic, ex-warehouse rigger, assistant. Good with engines, mean with people, not a genius. Second finger. They use cheap cameras, mostly visible. They trust intimidation more than systems. If there is a turret, it will be a local dumb. Wait, it'll be local dumb and probably tied to a motion trip or manual switch, not a real host. The courier crew said the hijackers used road flares, orange cones, and fake municipal work done to stop the van. That means someone gave them a plan or they got lucky once. I do not believe in lucky once. The fourth finger comes up. One module casing has a passive locator that only wakes at a very short range. This chip has a frequency fragment. It will not find the modules from across town, but if you get within maybe 50 meters, your gear may hear it. And then she leans in. What I'm not giving you yet is a client's name. You do not need to know it to recover the van. You need it if you plan to sell the cargo twice. Real gives a faint smile. That happens a lot. Miss Brass finally looks at him. Enough. I guess we'll take it. Miss Brass leaves the chip case open but keeps her brass fingers beside it. That is the offer. Better than before, not charity. She looks from Ultranova to Real. You accept, you get the chip and the advance. You walk, you forget the name, Klein Agriculture Repair before you reach the door. I'm going to put Ultranova accepts, then him and Real leave and come up with a plan. So I don't have to come up with a plan. Or at the very least, they can give me an idea for a plan. Alright, Ultranova accepts, not with a handshake, not with a smile, just a nod toward the chip case. We'll take it. Escrow with Mako, half up front before we leave. Miss Brass studies him for one more second, then slides the chip case across the table with 2 brass fingers. Good. Bring me sealed modules. Bring me a drivable van if the night is kind. Bring me the name behind the theft if you want the better payday. Mako finally stops pretending not to listen. He steps over with a greasy black cred stick reader. The kind bars use when nobody wants bank trails, but everyone still wants to get paid. Mrs. Brass transfers the advance. Mako confirms the escrow arrangement with a grunt and a thumbprint. Balance sits with me, Mako says. You deliver proof, you get paid. You stiff her, you don't drink here. You stiff me, you don't drink anywhere. Real looks at the bartender. That a threat or a service guarantee? Mako wipes the reader with the rag. Yes. The advance clears. Okay, so we got paid, and that's good. They leave the bent nails separately by 30 seconds. Not enough to look paranoid, enough to make a tail choose. Rain hits the alley like static. Neon from the bar sign makes every puddle look infected. Ultranova and Real regroup under the broken awning of a shuttered payday loan place half a block away. The chip case sits in Ultranova 5000's pocket like a tiny loaded gun. Real lights a cigarette, takes one drag, then kills it against the brick without finishing. Alright, van modules, chop crew, maybe a turret before sunrise. We are not sneaking through the ducts, I assume. Ultranova checks the chip contents on a shielded pocket unit, not broadcasting, just reading. The data is thin but useful. Exterior stills of Brink Sterling armored courier conversion, partial plate, paint scarring near rear passenger side, broken transponder fragment, locator frequency fragment, last ping around 56 in Old Burlington rail spur. A crude map overlay marks 4 garage rows around. One is flagged Klein Agricultural Repair. I'm thinking it's a Klein Agricultural Repair because it seems like it's kind of hinting at that. Real looks over his shoulder. They still have the van intact. They need time and space. Big garage, power, tools, lookouts. If they already opened it, we're looking for modules, not a van. He points toward the map. We do this smart. First move is eyes. Your drone, maybe your signal toy. We find the van and or the modules before anybody bleeds. Then he gives Ultranova the violent version because that is why real exists. If we see 6 idiots in a garage, we do not charge the front. We cut lights, block exits, panic them, grab the boss or the cargo. If there is a turret, you kill it before I become modern art. Ultranova can build a plan around that. Working plan they sketch. Phase 1, approach cold. Do not drive directly to Klein Agricultural Repair. Mark several blocks out, ideally with one route that does not pass the target frontage. Move in as pedestrians or from shadowed side streets. Phase 2, passive recon. Use a flying recon drone from outside. Obvious line of sight, keeping it altitude low and movement boring. Search for the courier van, garage activity, lookouts, cameras, exteriors, lights, dogs, armed bodies. They might have dogs. That might be a problem. Use the chip's locator fragment once within short range to check whether the modules are present. Phase 3, choose entry based on what they find. If the van is visible and lightly guarded, disable cameras, create distraction, steal it fast. If the van is inside a garage, identify power security points, and either spoof, force the door, or lure someone out. Van is already stripped, switch objective to modules in the witness's name. If opposition is heavier than advertised, withdraw and regenerate. Renegotiate or call for more help. Right. Phase 4, keep the violence controlled. Real handles close threat suppression. Ultranova handles cameras, doors, vehicle drones, comms. Hey, what's up, Sock? We're gonna go hack somebody. Actually, no, we're just gonna go kill some guys in a garage. That's exactly what I'm gonna do in this little mission here. Kill only if the crew forces it, because bodies raise heat and may bury the cargo. We're gonna kill them like... Alright, phase 5, extraction. Best case, real ride shotgun in a recovered van, while Ultranova drives it out. Ultranova shadows it with their own vehicle if the van is too traceable. Worst case, modules only, no van. Okay. Real looks down the west street of the Tacoma Industrial Dark. My vote, we get eyes first. If the ban is there, we make tonight about taking wheels away from people who thought they were clever. When Ultranova says, you want to roll straight to the rail spur and scout? Make a stop for more gear, call anyone else, or change the plan? Oh wait, no, he glances at me. Oh shit, that sounds like a good plan. We'll take public transportation. Yeah, because odds are we're gonna steal the van back. No need to waste cash on a vehicle. We aren't going to drive back. All right, so we'll do the plan. I'll probably scout with the drone. Though what sucks is if the van is screwed and we don't we won't have an escape car. Ultranova 5000 real, do not rent a car. No stolen America, no cab to the front door, no vehicle plates sitting in some traffic archive waiting to become a problem later. They ride public. First a late bus full of tired workers, wet jackets, and people too broke to be interesting. Then a transfer near a transit shelter where half the lights are dead and the AR ads keep glitching into blank gray panels. They pay with loose certified transit credit and keep their faces boring. Real spends most of the ride looking half asleep. That is a lie. His eyes check reflections, windows, exits, hands. Ultranova keeps the chip case close and the drone bag plain. No one on the bus cares. In Seattle, everyone carries something they hope nobody asks about. By the time they step off from South 56, the city has thinned into an old industrial bone. Dead rail spur, chain link, garage rolls, sodium lights buzzing over cracked pavement, rainwater running black in the gutters. No personal vehicle tied to the approach. Things go right, they leave in the courier van. Things go wrong, they leave on foot with the modules. Things go very wrong, the night becomes about not dying in Tacoma. Okay, so let's see now on the subsystems. So it's late night, still several hours before sunrise, which is good. So we got time. I don't think time's going to be a problem. They stop in the shadow of a shuttered machine parts wholesaler about 120 meters from the flagged garage row. From here, Klein Agriculture Repair is not directly visible except for a slice of roofline, a rusted sign frame, and a yellow light leaking between two buildings. The neighborhood is not asleep, it is pretending. A generator coughs somewhere behind sheet metal. Water drips from irrigated awnings. Dog barks once, then shuts up like someone made eye contact with it. Further down the street, a forklift backup alarm chirps twice and dies. Real crouches near the loading dock and looks toward the rail spur. This is where people bring things to disappear. He looks at the drone bag. Your turn, machine brain. Initial staging. Scale. Okay, so here's a map. The lighting is poor industrial night lighting. Rain scattered sodium lamps. Light rain is the weather. Wet pavement. Noisy drainage. Noises. Moderate industrial hum. Occasional traffic. So we don't have to worry about noise too much. Let's look at this. Abandoned garage row. There's like an alley. Klein Agricultural Repair. Suspected rivet dogs front. Partial light leaks visible. And then service lane. Garage row, unknown, mixed doors, old signage. And then the abandoned row, collapsed awning dark. Okay. Where are we? We're in the southwest loading dock, approximately 120 meters from B. Okay. So we're like in the... over here somewhere? Like... So it's just like a little warehouse kind of like area. That's not too bad. We got to watch out for lookout positions and camera arcs and stuff, so that'll be what we'll recon. Make sure we can find the vehicle we're after too. Reel keeps low, one shoulder against wet brick. I can cover you here or move closer with you. Drone first makes sense. If that ship can stiff the modules from 50 meters, we may need to creep closer after eyes are up. You know what? I'm going to have Ultranova hack. Yeah, if it's not on a closed circuit. I don't think we can hack the turret. The turret's like a dummy. Hey, what's up, Kurtcoolbeans? You're here? Oh shit, that's 3 people then. I can bring you in on the mission. I don't know, how would we write it in fiction though? We're trying to go steal a van. Oh hey, and thank you for the donation for the 1,000 bits 9 days ago. Really appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't stream though. Call you on comms? Okay, all right. We'll do that We'll do that next. Once it's done loading this fiction here, I'll have Real call you. I had to make it so that I was playing with the other player character I have. You tried to donate in real life, but my donate button says it's not configured. Yeah, I don't know what Twitch does for that. Like, and also like, I mean, I used to have PayPal. I don't think I really use it anymore, but I appreciate it. It's definitely helpful. Which means maybe it's not hooked up to a bank account. You know, maybe I'll have to check it out. Like, is that like a new thing? Oh, well, thank you for that too. Thank you for the 400 bits. All right, let's see what the fiction says here. Oh, but I'm gonna, before we read the fiction too, I'm just gonna put like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that you called me to see what was up. And I'm also going to put that you're in the neighborhood so that it doesn't advance time too much. There you go. We'll fill you in on the situation. I'll tell you to bring extra equipment. Okay. Extra equipment we could use in the scenario. All right, so while it's doing that, I'll read this fiction going on here. All right, Ultranova does not try a wireless hack to cameras from the curve. This is 2060. If the Rivet Dogs have cheap cameras, they're probably hardwired into some dusty local controller in the office, not floating open in the air like a future idiot's dream. What? So he keeps low behind the loading dock, pulls his deck interface and pocket gear under his coat, and starts with a safer question. Is there an outside line, or is this all local closed circuit? Real watches the street while Ultranova 5K checks public LTG listings, old business access nodes, maintenance numbers, signal fragments from the chip. He does not intrude yet, he just feels around the edges, like checking the door before touching the knob. The old business still exists in a local grid. Klein Agriculture Repair still has a registered telecom data term line. Fuck yeah, it has a phone line. Dead looking public listing, ancient billing address, no public storefront host worth the name, but the line is not fully abandoned. Something wakes up when queried, then immediately goes quiet. Too dumb to be a real host, too deliberate to be a random noise. Then Ultranova studies the building itself from cover. Overhead telecom line, patch conduit, one new cable run tucked sloppily under an awning, running from a street side utility box toward the office corner of Klein. That tells him the important part. The cameras are not freely hackable from here, but they're not perfectly isolated either. There's probably a local camera controller security box inside or just behind the office wall. Shit. With maintenance service line reachable through the exterior utility box or physical tap. From 120 meters away, Ultranova can't own the feeds, but if he gets closer, maybe within a service lane or alley, and then taps the line, he may be able to loop, blind, or spoof the cheap cameras without entering the garage proper. Okay, so they're like a local. Okay, so possibly in this alleyway, there's like a fucking thing that I can do. Might check that out then. Real looks at Ultranova, points and gives a small nod. So the cameras are stupid, but not stupid enough to answer the phone. He checks the street again. We can get close to that box, so we send the drone first to make sure nobody's leaning on the wall smoking right next to it. The line is clear. No clean remote camera hack. The next useful step is either a drone recon, sneaking closer, or the utility box. All right, so now I did the Kurtcoolbeans thing. So let's see now. Kurtcoolbeans calls while Ultranova is still under the loading dock shadow with Real. The pocket unit buzzes once again against his palm. Ultranova almost lets it die, then sees the handle. Kurtcoolbeans, he answers low. Make it quick. Kurt's voice comes through with street noise behind it, close enough that he is probably under the same ugly weather. You working tonight? I'm in the neighborhood and I'm bored enough to make bad choices for money. Ultranova glances towards his dim slice of Klein Agriculture Repair. Yeah, work. Stolen armored courier van. Chop shop crew. 6 sealed modules. Possible cameras. Possible dumb turret. 6 to 10 bodies. We're near South 56, the old rail spur. Bring extra equipment we could use. Quiet entry, mask, gas, security tools, anything for cameras or doors. It goes quiet for about 1 second, then. That sounds like every mistake I enjoy. Ultranova keeps it tight. Don't come in loud. Park or approach clean. We're staged southwest of Klein loading dock. About a block out. Do not walk straight to the front. Copy. I'll bring the ugly picnic basket. The line cuts. Real looks at Ultranova. Kurt? Ultranova nods. Real's expression barely changes, but the math in the air does. Good. Now we got someone who knows locks and bad ideas. About 15 minutes later, Kurt's ghost shows. Kurt ghosts in from the south side. Hood up, armor under loose rain layers, moving with the wired reflex stillness. where every casual step looks like it could become violence. He does not wave, he gives one sharp two-finger signal when he sees Ultranova and then slides into the loading dock shadow. He brought useful trouble, a shoulder bag with his security kit, lock tools, a cheap fiber optic probe, tape wedges, a compact noisemaker kit. Oh, we could use that. A sedative gas canister, and a matching respirator mask from the Dead Channel's loadout. His katana rides undercover. The Ruger Super Warhawk is reloaded, ugly and very much not the quiet option. Kurt looks from Ultranova to Real. So we stealing the van, stealing the cargo, or stealing the knight's sense of safety? Real answers without looking away from the target block. Ideally, the first two. Ultranova fills him in fast. Mrs. Brass, Ribbit Dogs, Deck Voss, Klein Agricultural Repair, Last Transponder Ping, Locator Fragment, Local Cameras. You know, all the works. Kurt listens, then crouches by the wall and studies the dark line of buildings. If the cameras are cheap and local, we don't need to own the whole building. We need one ugly little box and 30 quiet seconds. He pats the bag. I can help with that. Okay. It says it's still thinking, but it's clearly not. Hold on, let me refresh. There we go. Kurt pulls one respirator mask halfway out of the bag and looks at Ultranova. If we're using gas, I want to know before somebody starts shooting. If we're just getting your hands on that utility box, I can move first and check the path. Then Real says, drone first, still keeps all our blood inside. So yeah, I'll send in the drone. Let's see now. Should I also send Kurt and Real? To do a little recon? Or should we wait for the drone to give us top view? You know what? I'll send him. We should also bring regular masks. I did buy a mask. This is the drone. I'm gonna say look for entrances, cameras, and a utility box to hack the cameras along with guards. Okay, so that covers everything that would possibly be a problem. And hopefully, I mean, I think it's raining because it's always raining in Seattle. If it's raining, that could cover the noise that the drone makes. But we are in an industrial sector, so that can also kind of cover the noise the drone makes too. We should upgrade the drone with night vision or infrared heat. I wonder how much that costs. We'll have to do that in the next downtime. But I did have Never Conquer. I retconned it so that Never Conquer also has bribes in the Lone Star cops. So that should lower some of the heat, or at least tell us what's going on. Apparently Candle, you know, that weird fucking guy we blamed, he's now been publicly faced. He was on the news and stuff. Basically, his name was, not he himself. So we're already kind of screwed that guy over, which is kind of funny. Right, Ultranova eases the flying recon drone out of the bag. He is releasing an insect from a matchbox. The little machine wakes with a soft, repaired whine, still not silent, better than before. In this neighborhood under the rain and generators and distant traffic, better than before is enough to risk. Real shifts to cover the street. Kurt crouches behind Ultranova and watches the drone lift. Keep it low until you hit the roofline, Kurt mutters. Then drift, don't dart. People notice things that look like decisions. The drone skims out from the loading dock shadow, low over black puddles, then climbs along the dirty face of an abandoned garage row. Its camera's feed jitters once in the rain, then stabilizes. Sodium lights, rusted doors, broken gutters, chain link, roof tar, old rail iron shining like a wet bone. It crosses toward Klein Agricultural Repair. The frontage is ugly and useful. The old sign is still there. Half the letter's dead. Klein Agrit Rear. There we go. One wide roll-up garage door faces the service lane. It is mostly closed but not sealed. Raised just enough at the bottom to show light tool shadows and the fat rear tire of something armored inside. That matters. Ultranova angles the drone higher. Slow. There, the rear quarter of the stolen Brinks Sterling courier van. Backed inside the main bay. Rear doors appear closed from the angle. Van intact enough to still look like a van, not a corpse. Okay, so the van is still operational. We can probably steal it back. The drone drifts past a rooftop vent and catches a second angle through the dirty skylight. Inside the bay, at least 3 bodies moving. One orc-sized figure with the mechanic posture near the van's rear. One human or elf-shaped guard on a stool by a workbench. One more moving near a hydraulic lift. Weapons not all visible, but nobody in that building looks like they're waiting for a bus. On the exterior, Ultranova picks out the security. Cheap, dirty, but real. A little dome camera above the office front door. Bullet camera watching the alley side. Another camera on a pole looking across the fenced yard and service lane. All of them hardwired by conduit that runs back towards the office corner. Then the utility box shows itself. Office sidewall, east-southeast corner, shoulder high. Range shield bent open slightly. Newer cable run patched into a older conduit. If the camera system has a throat, that box is probably where to put the knife. The drone noises a little too far past the alley camera. A man under the awning by the frontage door looks up. Fuck! Not straight at it, not enough to point, but enough that he stops smoking and listens. The drone drifts with the wind, hides against the dark roof line and waits. The man stares into the rain for 5 long seconds, then he spits, says something to someone inside and goes back to pretending he is bored. No alarm, but one guard is now a little less asleep. So it was spotted, but it didn't spook him. Here's all the rolls. Drone sensor. So I succeeded in all my rolls, which is good. Visible entrances. So we have E1 front office personnel. Is it going to update the map for us? Oh shit, yeah, it did. So we got skylight vents. We got possible enemies, which is G3, 4, and 5. E2 roll-up door, E1 office door, utility box. I can send in the other drone, the one, you know, like the spider drone I have, basically, and see if I can access that utility box, because we need to cut the camera feeds. I can also send that drone in, but it might be noticed, like, you know, underneath the garage thing. The feed studies. Can the spider drone? I don't think it can drive the car though. I think it has like small little hands or whatever. Kurt studies the little screen and points in the utility box. That's our camera throat. I can get us close from the side row if the alley cam gets looped or blinded. Without that, you're playing peekaboo with cheap optics. I could use the drone, the spider drone, to blind that camera, and then you can get to the utility box. Because the problem with that is if I use the drone to get to the utility box, then it's kind of like I have to control the drone and we got to do that shit. It's better if a person does the utility box. Real points at the roll-up door. Van's still whole. That means we still have a job. Then he points at the smoking guard. That one's half awake now. If we move like we meant to move before he starts telling himself ghost stories. The drone waits in the rain, quiet enough for now. I'm going to have the overhead drone. I'm going to not control it. I'll have it as a passive standby. Next time we should bring tranquilizer darts. That's true, but then like it might not go through people's armor unless we all go for headshots, which would actually be harder to do. It would. I think it adds like +4 to the roll for small jobs. Oh, I got you. Well, we can also grapple people too. We can grab them, you know, and cover their mouths and slit their throats and shit. That's totally doable. Fine drone, go on. So I have like a crawler drone. So I'm gonna send the crawler drone to spook the camera that would catch Kurt as he these guys aren't armored. Spoof, not spook. Oh, you're right. Right, we need to spoof it. You are correct. He messes as he. Do you hack a utility thing? Like what? As he works on the utility box. Yeah, that's it. It's like 1 a.m, you know. As he taps the utility. Okay. Box to disable all the cameras. I'll have real will cover Kurt. Okay, what will real do? Should we split the team up a little bit? Someone should be your backup. I'm going to be your backup. Actually, no, real would be the better backup. Fuck it. Well, all 3 of us will go there. Fuck it. Fuck it. As they sneak towards the utility. I'm also going to put a condition. If the crawler doesn't spoof or blinds the camera, we abort. We won't do that. There we go. Sure. That makes sense, right? If the crawler fails, like, we shouldn't try to approach the utility box. Though, I mean, it should be a low-grade camera. The whole reason I have the stupid crawler is to, like, you know, either blind cameras or like set off false alarms. We might not be able to do like mega corporation type infiltration, but we can certainly fucking go into a chop shop in the industrial zone. I think we're in the same neighborhood where you chop that dude's head off too, so. Which they didn't mention in the news. You think that'd be like the first thing? You know, like, because I would imagine a news report would be like, a beheading happened in the Tacoma region. People blame gang warfare. You know, I also regret that we didn't do one of those like, oh, you know, he lost his head over that. Or it's like, oh man. Here we go. You know, one of those Austin Power jokes. Right. Ultranova parks the flying drone in a roofline shadow and puts it on hover standby. The little scout holds still in the rain. Camera angled down over Klein's frontage, ready to ward if a guard moves wrong. God, I love that we have a drone. It's so bullshit overpowered. The crawler comes out. Small wheels, low body, dirt casing, the kind of ugly little machine that looks less like a drone and more like something a mechanic forgot to throw away. Ultranova lets it roll out under the loading dock across wet concrete through a runoff channel. Then along the shadow line between the abandoned road and Klein's service lane, Kurt watches the feed over Ultranova's shoulder. There, that dome and the pull cam overlap near the utility box. Kill that look before I go near it. The crawler inches closer. Rainwater ripples around its wheels. Once it freezes as the smoking guard shifts under the awning. The guard looks toward the street, squints and sees nothing but rain. Rust in the same dead industrial night he has been staring at for an hour. The crawler reaches the camera's throat. Not the lens itself, better, an exposed cable run feeding back into the office side utility box. It extends a tiny tool arm and seats a cheap repeater tab against the patch conduit. Ultranova does the rest from cover. No magic wireless nonsense, just a dirty local signal spoof through a physical contact point. The nearest camera feed stutters, then the dome camera starts seeing the same empty wet patch of the wall over and over. The pole cam follows. The alley camera hiccups into a rain smear loop. Kurt grins without humor. That'll do, not forever. Now the meat moves. Kurt goes first, low and smooth, using dead angles between the service lane and the old office corner. Ultranova follows with the deck gear under his coat. Real hangs a half step wider, eyes on the awning guard, one hand loose and ready. They cross. For 3 seconds it works perfectly. Then the smoking guard under the roll-up awning lifts his head again. Not alarmed, not shouting, but something in the rhythm of the night has changed, and his body knows it before his brain does. He pushes off the wall and takes 2 slow steps towards the service lane. Kurt reaches the utility box. The cover is rusted but already half compromised by lazy work. He wedges it open with almost no noise, plugs a line clamp into the ugly little bundle inside, and starts cutting the camera controller out of reality 1 feet at a time. Ultranova rides the signal with him, keeping the loops boring. Old rain, empty wall, dead alley, nothing to see. For now, Kine Agriculture Repair is blind on its visible cameras. Not deaf, not empty, not safe. Blind. Right, so we blinded all the cameras. They still have a fucking turret, but we haven't seen it yet, so it's got to be inside the building. Alright, Kirk keeps one hand on the clamp and whispers, cameras are eating static. We got the door side clean unless meat eyes ruin it. Real's gaze locks on the smoking guard. The guard is not close enough to see faces yet, but he is walking the wrong direction for everyone's comfort. Your call, Real mummers. I can let him keep wondering, scare him back inside, or make him stop wondering. Should we gas the building? Let's see now. I'm gonna ask. Can Kurt gas the building? How big is it's like a chop shop, right? So it's like how effective could the gas be? We can have Real kill that one guard. You know, he's got a katana. That would be silent, right? It just depends if that guy's close. Like if Real can jump him, I'm sure he can murder him with the sword, you know? He's a cybernetic ninja guy. He can totally do it. All right. Kurt can use sedative gas, but with limits. What are the limits? Kurt's gear. It's not carbon monoxide or lethal. Okay, well that doesn't really tell me like what the limits are. That just tells me that he can do it. Sneak behind or above him, right? He can just solid snake him. He probably cannot gas the entire building cleanly with one canister. Fine is a garage chop shop space. Leaky roll-up doors, vents, roof gaps, open bay volume, maybe office partitions. One canister is much better for one enclosed zone than a whole facility. So your best option, use the crawler drone to carry or place the gas canister through the roll-up door gap. Oh, that might work. The crawler could do it. That's better than throwing it blindly. Hold on, I gotta get this ad out. Okay, there we go. Main garage bay where the van and several bodies are. That could hit G3, G4, G5, and maybe anyone near the van. Second best option. Kurt taps open a ventilation office. The best option is the best option. Well, what about bad option? Bad option would be good. It would be funny if it was like best option, better option, you know? Don't try to gas the whole building. Use the crawler to deliver the canister into the main bay near the van while the camera loop is active, then wait a short beat. Let's ask another question. How close is Real to the alerted guard? Could he kill or silence him with his blade? Because I didn't want to type katana. The best option gets nearby guards, sounds like. You think so? He marked the guards like G3 or whatever. We'll ask. So real is close enough, but it's not an automatically silent. Current position. Real is near the utility box with Ultranova Kurt. G1 is at near the roll-up awning and has taken a couple of suspicious steps toward the service lane. That puts him roughly 10 to 15 meters away. Cameras are loose, so the main problem is meat, eyes, and noise, not video. Best option is not for real to rush him across open ground. Best option is to let G1 take a few more steps toward the utility box. Then real ambush. Why don't we just all ambush him? Should we make a dumb noise to try to lure him? Should we like knock on something? Okay. How stupid should the noise be? Because like it can't be too obvious, right? Oh, wait, I know how to word this perfectly. So Ultranova, Real, and Kurt get in a good ambush position. For the guard. And lure him with the noise. As he gets close, Kurt and... Should we kill him? They said we could bring a what's it called? Because we do get a bonus if we find out why they were hired to steal the van. But I feel like this guy we don't need to question. We should just kill him. We can knock him out too if we don't want bodies. Like, so there is the heat of the last couple of guys we murdered. But at the same time too, it's funnier if we murder him. KO him with the katana? Okay. Why not just choke his ass out? Like a little bitch. Just be like, ugh. Just like choke him out and say there'll be no dreams. In this span. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. I'm gonna put Real grabs him. Okay. All right, let's see how this plays out here. This should be good. So we're going non-lethal. A new thing for us, because I don't think we've ever tried to do non-lethal. I think we just flat out murder people. But we have to worry about heat, so maybe it's a good idea. I guess after this we should put on fucking we should put on some masks, maybe the gas mask. Then we tie him up and toss him in the van. Do you think we'll have time? Because I'm envisioning that what we're gonna do is we're gonna gas the van. And then we'll have the respirators on, right? And then we'll just run in there while everyone's gassed, get into the van, hope to God the keys are in the van. We'll search this guy after we knock him out. I don't know if he'll have the keys on him or whatever, but you know, hope to God the keys are in the van. Make sure the shit we're there to get is in the van too, because we're actually trying to get the van and like 6 modules, like little chips or some shit. Everyone up after KO'd. That's just the 3 guys that we saw though. We don't know how many dudes are in there. Dude, that's the other thing. Yeah, we can tie this guy up too, like after we knock him out. Right, Ultranova gives the tiniest nod. Nobody talks after that. We need oxygen masks. We got respirators, right? Because you brought them from the last gig. And there's 3 of us, so it's 3 respirators. Should be the same amount. If not, I'll retcon it because fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Alright, Kurt takes a little noisemaker from his kit, something ugly and simple with a sticky bag and a cheap speaker grill. He palms it, waits until guard 1 takes another suspicious step away from the roll-up awning, then flicks it low across the wet pavement into the shadow beside the utility wall. It lands under a rusted drainage pipe. A second later, it makes a sound like a loose conduit tapping metal in the wind. Tick, 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 tick. Guard 1 freezes. He is close enough now that Ultranova can see the ember of his cigarette glow under the awning. The guard mutters something under his breath, one hand drifting toward the butt of the pistol under his jacket. He does not call out. That saves him. He steps closer, annoyed, cautious, not scared enough to do the smart thing. Rain beads on his shaved scalp. His boots splash once in the shallow puddle. He leans towards the sound. Real moves first. He comes out of the dark like the dark got tired of waiting. One arm clamps across G1's mouth and jaw. The other locks the guard weapon's arm against his ribs before his pistol clears it. Oh, before his pistol clears leather. G1's cigarette drops and dies in the rain with a tiny hiss. Kurt is already behind him. He slides in tight, forearm under the guard's chin, bicep to one side. Hand behind the head, compressing the arteries instead of crushing the windpipe. Fast, professional, ugly. He hauls back and whispers into guard 1's ear. There will be no dreams. Guard 1 kicks once. Real absorbs it, turns a struggle into the wall and pins the guard's boots into the trash water. Ultranova keeps eyes on the yard, the door, the drone feed, the loop cameras that still show empty rain. 5 seconds, guard 1's free hand claws at Kurt's sleeve. 7 seconds, his knees start to go. 10 seconds, Kurt rides him down, controlled, keeping the choke just long enough for the body to stop fighting and not long enough to turn a quiet takedown into a corpse problem. Real lowers him into the shadow beside the utility box. The guard is out, breathing. Not clean breathing, but breathing. No shout, no shot, no alarm. You know, we could bind him and then just like drown him in a little puddle. Just toss him face first in the fucking floor. He drowned in an inch of rain. Be like, well, that's natural causes. It's technically not us. That would be oh my god. He like slipped and fell and then drowned. No, man. Kurt keeps 2 fingers briefly on the guard's neck, confirms pulse, and looks at Ultranova. Out, not dead yet. Real has already taken the guard's pistol hand and is holding it away from the body. We need to stash him. Bind him or move. He's a clock now. Let's search him. Search him quickly. We don't need a full search. Then bind and gag him as the crew puts on the respirator masks that Kurt brought and sets up the crawler drone. Yeah, he just died. Like he was smoking a cigarette and I guess he was thirsty and then he just kind of passed out and just drowned himself. That, you know, was just a freak accident. That's, you know, like that guy whose head fell off the last mission. It was just a freak accident. Right, what was I? Oh yeah, Kurt, and sets up the gas canister with the crawler. So I feel like once we do the gas canister thing, we almost, like, at that point our cover's blown. We should go in hot with the respirators and just fucking just shoot everyone we can shoot, or anyone that's a threat. We don't have to kill, like, you know, a mechanic or anything, but anyone that like wants to fuck with us, we'll just kill them. They'll be fucked up anyways. They don't have any mask and gas will be in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like Ultranova keeps the loop steady while Real and Kurt strip the unconscious guard fast and ugly. We stripped him naked. Everyone, can we do that one? Real controls the hands first. Weapon away, wrist turned. No chance for a sudden wake-up knife. Kurt pats him down. You know, we could also just kill everyone with the guard's gun and then just leave the gun on the guard. You know how fucked up that would be? You know, like, oh my god. He went cyber psycho and then he drowned in an inch of water. Oh fuck. Case closed. Real controls the hands first, weapons array, wrist turn. No chance for a sudden wake up knife. Kurt pats him down with the practice speed. Cleanest job ever. Yeah, no questions asked. Waistband, jacket, boots, pockets, collar, belt, sleeve seams. The guard has a heavy pistol under his jacket, a cheap stun baton clipped behind his belt, a short range radio with an earpiece. We can use the radio, we can listen in on him. A key ring, a scratched mag key, cigarettes, lighter, plastic restraints, and a folded paper packet with the handwritten shift notes. Nothing fancy, nothing clean. Kurt pockets the mag key and the shift notes, then kills the guard's radio before it can bark at the wrong moment. Real binds the wrists and ankles with the guard's own plastic restraint plus Kurt's tape. Gag goes in the next cloth first. Tape over it. Not enough to suffocate him, enough to stop a yell. They drag him into a deep utility shadow behind stacked scrap drums where the camera loop shows only rain and wall. Then the masks come out. Rubber filters old, sweat, chemical tang. Ultranova pulls his on. Kurt checks the seal with 2 fingers. Rio looks deeply annoyed by the whole concept of breathing through gear, but he puts his on without complaint. Kurt crouches by the crawler drone and rigs the sedative gas canister onto its little chassis. Tape bracket, trigger line, crude remote pull rig tied to the drone's tool arm. Not elegant, reliable enough. The crawler starts forward, low and slow, carrying the canister like a little mechanical rat with a bad future. It rows towards the partially raised main garage door. Inside, through the gap, shadows move around the armored courier van. A boot, a wheel, a hanging chain, harsh work lights. Someone laughs at something inside. The sound is muffled by rain and metal. What would he be laughing at? His dick? The crawler reaches the roll up a gap and tucks itself beside a stack of old tires just outside the threshold. From there, it has a clean angle to push the canister under the door into the main bay or vent it at a floor level and let the gas crawl inward. I was thinking have it activate in the crawler and just have the crawler just drive in. We vent this into the bay, wait for the coffee, and then hit the door before they know which way the floor went. That's what Kurt said. Real watches the yard guard. Exterior guy may not get a taste. He'll still be a problem. Gas is 1 command away. Okay, so this is how it's gonna work. If it's gas, come on. That's true, they shouldn't. Ultranova will have the crawler enter. I'm gonna have it enter and activate the gas as soon as it's inside. Then it will continue moving, trying to get as many guards gassed as possible. Then Ultranova, Real, and Kurt will rush the site with masks on and will shoot or slice any threats while looking for the modules and keys to the van. There, that pretty much does it, right? Like, I think we got it covered. I'm also going to put an out of character here thing because I want the roles. Show the roles after the fiction, not at the very end. So like, there we go. Okay, let's try that. I guess I'll have to do a picture of this as soon as it's done loading, right? We get a nice AI picture of us like pointing our guns in different directions. The gas like somehow being like, you know, totally in a different spot. It'll look cool though, I gotta say. Okay, he's gonna run the breach in short beats. Drone delivery, gas effect, then the massed rush with initiative shown as soon as combat actually starts. I'll stop when the team has a meaningful fork or someone needs a defense resource choice. Okay. Technically all characters should be playable. Hopefully the AI doesn't just go through our roles. So the only real decision we have to make is like who we are attacking, what weapon we're using, and if we're going to put any combat pool into it. But combat pool regenerates every turn or every round, but characters can move multiple times around. Since Real and Kurt are both cyber ninjas, they should have fast ass reflexes, so they could potentially move twice around. Oh, fuck. There's a turret in there, right? You think the gas will get that? Probably not. We might have to just shoot the turret. That might be the target. We both have big ass revolvers. You need to scout the turret with the crawler. It's too late. We already did. The problem with sending the crawler in though is they would have noticed the crawler. Dude, that's the thing, right? Like, because the crawler has to do a stealth check as well. And I feel like the drone ain't too bad, right? They have to be looking up. Odds are they'd hear it. The crawler though, they would have fucking seen that immediately, I think. I don't think they would have heard it or seen it. Well, hopefully if one of us dies, hopefully it's real. Oh my god, the dice roller not work? Could have gassed it with smoke. We could have did a double. We could have did a twofer, huh? But then that would have affected us when we go in there, unless we had infrared. When we have the key to the fucking thing, we can just walk in there. After gassing anyone, that's true. Well, the turret, I believe, is a dumb turret, is what it was described to me. So it's not on a system, so we couldn't have hacked it or done anything to it, sadly. Okay, here we go. Let me tell it to give me an image of this. Make sure it's loaded first before I do it. Now look at all this shit that happened. Dude. All right. The crawler slides into the roll-up gap. Oh, wait. Make sure here. Did it load up the full thing? No, we still got more shit. Hold on. Wow, it generated a lot of text. Okay. Because I can't ask for an image until it generates all the text. I might have to retcon this. Did it not allow us to fight? I might let it play out because it took 4 minutes to do like 5 rounds of combat. Let's read. Let's see what happens. The crawler slides into the roll-up gap. For 1 second, it's just a black little shape under the van's shadow. Wheels ticking through old oil, rainwater, and metal filings. Then Ultranovas triggers the canister. A gray-white bloom rolls out low across the concrete. It does not explode like trid gas. It crawls, floor level first, then rising in slow, dirty layers under the work lights. The crawler keeps moving, dragging the cloud deeper under the van and toward the workbench where the bay crew had been cutting, sorting, and smoking their way through stolen property. One of the guards sees it too late. What the frag is? Then he inhales. Drone handler, success. Okay. The first man by the workbench coughs once, hard like his lungs just rejected the building. He tries to stand, slaps a hand on the bench, and goes down with tools clattering around him. The second guard near the lift staggers back, one arm over his face, eyes watering, pistol halfway out but pointed at the floor. The big orc mechanic near the rear of the courier van, deck boss, or close enough to matter, does not go down. He turns furious and choking, one hand braced against the van, the other pawing at his belt and the workbench. In the office doorway, another body appears through the haze, takes half breath, and folds out of the sight behind the desk. So we didn't get the fucking gas resistance. Okay, so some of them actually rode success on the gas resistance. Some of them survived the gas. Looks like some of them got wounded by it though, or at least like fucked up enough. The building starts to wake up wrong. No alarm siren wrong. Not yet. Human wrong. A chair scrapes, a tool falls, someone coughs hard enough to sound like he is dying. The yard guard turns from the fence line and reaches towards his radio. Real is already moving. The team bursts from the utility shadow and masked. Ultranova 5K with the drone feed in one eye and the Ruger ready. Kurt low with the mag key and kit. Real, a black shape with steel in his hand. The knight snaps into the combat timing. Okay, so are we... Wait. Did it do the combat for us? Oh, I'll read it. Let's see what it says. Real hits the yard guard before the radio clears his jacket. No flourish, no movie spin, just distance erased. One hand knocking the radio arm aside. The katana coming across low and mean. The blade opens armor and meat without giving the guard enough air to scream. G2 folds against the chain link. Alive or close enough, but out of the fight. Okay, well, that's fine. Real does not chase... Damn, does Real move twice? Let me look at this initiative. Holy shit, he rolled a 27? I think he moves like 3 times. Actually, he moves twice in a row because he rolled 27, and then the next turn is him, and then it's me and Kurt, and then Deck, and then G4, and then G6, who's incapacitated, so he's not going to do shit. And then it's me, no, then it's Real again, and then it's me and Kurt again because we rolled a 14. So basically this is 1 round of combat, but because we rolled over 10, we get to do work. We get 2 movements, and Real gets 3 because he rolled over 20. All right, Real does not chase the body down. He plants near the office side approach and waits, blade wet, respirator making his breathing sound inhuman. He holds his next action for the door. Kirk gets there with the stolen mag key from G1. The office door does not like opening. Old maglock, bent frame, weather swollen seal. Kurt swipes, feels the bad read, swipes again with the key, angled slightly lower, and the lock gives with a tired electric click. The office is closed, stale, and already half filled with gas spillover. A man is collapsed behind the desk, one hand still near a cheap panic button he never reached. His face is slack, breathing shallow. A monitor wall shows looped rain and empty concrete. Camera feed Ultranova 5K and Kurt already poisoned. Ultranova steps in behind Kurt, respirator tight, pocket unit chirping against the chip's locator fragment. The signal wakes up hard? Not from the office, from the van. The modules are still inside the armored courier body near the rear car. Oh, fuck, thank God they're still in the van. Oh, Jesus. Sealed, or at least still emitting like they are sealed. The key problem is now literal. The rear doors are and immobile. Wait. The key problem is now literal. The rear doors and immobilizer. Ultranova spots something through the office window into the bay. A Brink Sterling fob clipped to Deck's belt, half hidden under his mechanic apron, swinging while he coughs and searches for the workbench. So Deck has the key. The orc mini boss. The door opens and Real spends the action he was holding. He cuts through the office bay threshold. Okay, so someone came through the door, and since he was on Overwatch, that means that he's allowed to attack. He cuts through the office bay threshold into the gas haze just as the lift guard tries to bring his pistol up. The man is coughing too hard to aim. Real's katana flashes once under the work light. The guard hits the concrete beside the lift, weapon skidding under a toolbox. So now it's Deck's turn, right? Deck Boss does not die easy. The orc mechanic turns into the blade light with tears streaming from his gas-burned eyes. He is huge, scarred, and built like somebody assembled him out of bad shifts and warehouse accidents. He grabs for something on the workbench. Remote, pistol, alarm switch, nobody can tell in the gas, and slams his other hand against the band to keep himself upright. His hand misses the right switch. Something sparks. A shop lamp explodes against the wall. The garage bay jumps with white light and then plunges back into ugly sodium shadow. No alarm yet. Let me tell the AI, wait. Let me tell the AI to stop when it's our turn. Wait, when it's so. Okay, so I told the AI to stop, like, auto-resolving our combat so we can actually make decisions in our combat, but I'm gonna let this, what's going on here, like, still be canon. Alright, where am I in the fiction here? Okay, so Real killed the dude that came through the door. Deck Boss is like all fucking being totally fucking useless, which is great because he's the bad guy. So Kurt steps over the office casualty and kicks the panic button farther under the desk before the man's hand can twitch back toward it. He does not stop to bind him yet, too much still moving in the bay. Ultranova's crawler keeps crawling under the van, venting the last of the gas. Gas thickens again around Deck's boots. He coughs, spits, and stays upright. Continuing gas pressure, Deck's secondary exposure tick. Damn, Deck remains impaired but conscious. Fucking orcs, man. He is taking stun pressure and oh, he does have penalties, so that'll make it easier for us to get him. I was hoping we'd knock his ass out and use him as a hostage because he's clearly the leader. Just throw him in the fucking van. Real uses his last fast phase to finish the big man before he can find this. Unless Real fucking kills him, then no. He comes in through the haze, katana angled with the belt side, the fob, the hand, the center line, all in one ugly geometry. But Deck is not just big. He has garage instincts. He catches the blade on a heavy wrench, metal screaming on metal, and shoves Real back half a step. Damn, Real did not succeed? For the first time tonight, somebody on the other side survives Real's rhythm. Oh my god, is this dude a mini-boss? Is that why he's not going down so easily? We got a real fucking challenge? Deke roars through the respirator filtered air, but the gas turns into a broken animal sound. It's crazy because his dexterity must be close to 0, right? He swings the he swings the wrench two-handed at Real's head. Real tries to slip it, but the floor is wet with oil and gas condensation. The wrench clips his armored shoulder hard enough to turn him sideways. For half a second it looks bad, then Real rolls with it, armor and muscle taking the force, and comes back up with murder still in his eyes. How much damage did he do? So he improvised heavy wrench tire iron. Real's melee defense 6. No. But his damage resistance though, so Real got hit because his defense didn't beat the strike, but he succeeded in his damage resistance. So Real shrugs off the wrench hit, no wound. So he got hit, but it did no damage. The bay is theirs except for Deke. G1 is bound outside, G2 is down by the yard fence, G3 is unconscious by the workbench, Guard 4 is down by the lift, Guard 6 is down in the office, the cameras are still looped, the gas is thinning, van is intact. Where the fuck is the turret? Is it in the van? Crazy for a ninja to not evade a clumsy throw. That's true. From an inebriated guard. I guess Deke Voss really has some good stats. I think it might be in the van too. You think the van's like booby trapped? But Deke Voss is still standing in front of the rear of the courier van, coughing blood colored spit into the gas cloud, wrench in hand, too stubborn or too stupid to fall. Well, we'll handle the van once we get rid of the orc. Kurt's voice comes through the respirator, tight and muffled. Keys on him. Drop him where I can clip it if somebody keeps his wrench busy. No, we don't really need to steal it. Real's answer is just breathe through rubber and one step forward. Deke raises the wrench again. All right, we're getting a picture of this. Before entering or open the van without going inside and scout it with the crawler. Shit. All right, let me just do that. All right, let's look at this picture. Yeah, so like somehow the van is outside, or are we still outside? Look, you can see the little like robot crawler over there, and you can see like there's some knocked out dudes. Who's the guy in like the fucking oh, hold on, let me try to get this image here. Okay, that's as big as I can make it. It kind of clips with what's going on here, so I'm going to roll that up. Okay, so Real's fighting him. We all got masks on. That must be in the service or loading bay. It looks like it's outside now. That's okay though. I mean, it's, you know, the images will never be perfect. We just have to live with that. But it gives us an idea, you know, like this is kind of gives us a little thing like, oh, this is what's kind of happening here. We got a big asshole with a wrench. All right, I'm just gonna say roll initiative. I spelled initiative wrong, but that's fine. Loading dock would definitely be outside. So we smoked it. We knocked out everyone. We just have to deal with this one orc. Ideally, I'd like to try to take him alive. That might be harder though. No, because I feel like he has the information we need. Or we can kill him and then search everyone, or just take all the other motherfuckers that are unconscious. I just don't know how we're gonna knock this guy out, is the thing. I mean, I could shoot him in the kneecap or something, but the problem with that is if we try to like shoot him and do an aim shot, it's gonna be harder.
Peter Piper used the smart buying tools from
Take the boss at the desk. Kill the orc. Yeah, you're right. Fuck orcs. Did you know that, here, I'm gonna give you some Shadowrun lore. Did you know that orcs have a like they're the fastest growing race in Shadowrun? Apparently orc women are very fertile, I guess. They breed like rabbits. You think the boss who passes out knows the most? All right, absolutely. From here on, I'll stop at each player. So here's the initiative. Shit, man, Real's a fucking, he's a speed demon, man. 24? 24, then me. So we're gonna move before everyone else. Fuck, Real's gonna move before we're gonna have 4 moves before the orc can do anything. Elves are probably the least reproductive. I think so. I don't know. No, wait, they are immortal. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't know if they're immortal in this universe, but I think they are. This is also like probably about 30 or 40 years once the orcs and the dwarves and shit started showing up again. So this is like the first generation of them. At current situation, Real has the first move. The gas curls around his boots. Deck ball stands between him and the van, wrench raised, eye streaming, without a respirator and furious. The key fob swings on Deck's belt every time he calls. Real's voice is muffled through the mask. I can cut him down, go for the hand, or try to take the key off him while he's busy. What do I want Real to do? This is a 3v1 scenario, too. Real could try to grab him. Or it would be better if Real uses the katana and wounds him or something. No, kill the orc? Okay. I'm just gonna Real uses 3 combat pool with katana. I'm not gonna do an aim shot because an aim shot will make it harder for the hit to happen. Either way, kill him. That's true. I'm gonna use 3 combat pool. I don't know how much combat pool Real has because the AI didn't tell me, or I didn't read it. Let's see. No, it didn't tell me at all. So I'm assuming he has at least 3. I'm pretty sure Real has like a katana skill of at least 5, so that should be totally legal. Real does not waste the opening. Deke brings the wrench high, still trying to make himself big enough to block the whole van. Real steps inside the arc instead of away from it. The katana flashes low through the thinning gas, cutting across Deke's belt side and into the meat above the hip. Key fob jerks on its clip. Deke staggers hard against the rear corner of the armored courier van. Wait, what?
Chase Ink helped me grow from.
So wait, the katana flashes low and the thinning gas cutting across Deke's belt side. Okay, so he did hit him.
Good time.
Hold on, I gotta switch out the music. There we go. Deke staggers hard against the rear corner of the armored courier van. Green blood and rainwater, dark grease smear across the van's back plating. Oh, you got the fucking van? Damn it. It's gonna make it harder for us to escape with it. He does not drop, but the hit changes him. His roar turns wet and broken. The wench dips. One knee nearly buckles. For the first time, Deke looks less like a wall and more like a wall that is about to come down. Yeah, we gotta fucking clean the van now because this son of a bitch had to bleed on it. Fuck. How much damage did we do to him? Well, he did not succeed his damage roll. Final damage. Deke takes serious physical damage. But we didn't knock him down though. Wait, do we knock down stagger check? Okay, so he is staggered. Deke is badly wounded and staggered against the van. Deke remains conscious and technically standing. Deke now suffers severe wound penalties going forward. Key fob is still clipped. Okay, so Real spent 3 out of 9. Ultranova 5K is near the office doorway with the Ruger ready. Drone controller active, respirator on. Deke is staggered near the rear of the van, badly wounded, still holding the wrench. Okay. I'm gonna shoot him. Oh, I can wait, should I just run up and kick him in the dick? Like, you think the gun sound would be like too much? You think it'll like alert people? Because that's the only thing I'm worried about now is my character doesn't have you know, a silenced weapon. So you know what, yeah, Ultranova just no, I don't have a blade. I'm not a samurai. I'm like a hacker slash drone dude, you know? That's my class. Maybe I do. Let's see. I don't know actually. Do I have a combat knife? Does Ultranova have a melee weapon? Gas him again with the drone. I think the gas ran out. He did 2 rolls against the gas, right? And he kind of survived all rolls. So he's very hardy, though he did take what damage? He's in serious physical damage. So basically anything that hits him now can put him into deadly damage, or like, you know, enough to knock him down or kill him. Like he'll either go unconscious for shock or he'll just die. Because this game doesn't have hit points. It has like levels of damage. And serious physical is bad. So even if I do minor damage, it'll stack with that and it'll go into like deadly damage or whatever. Whatever the next level of that is. Damn, I do have a knife. What do I have? Defiance utility knife multi-tool carried by default. It counts as a small knife tool, not a real combat blade. Shit. I can cut and grapple in desperation, but it's bad compared. Okay. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Ultranova 5K says, surrender or die. And if the orc doesn't surrender, Ultranova shoots him with his biggest gun, using all the combat pool he can on it. I'm gonna see if he surrenders. If we take him alive, you know, like fuck, if we can take this whole crew alive and put him in the van, they'll have plenty of people to interrogate. You know what I'm saying? And we'll leave no bodies. But let's see if his morale holds up. Also take the officer. Oh, we're taking all of them. Like once we're done with this guy, we're gonna tie them all up. That way, even if they wake up, who cares? We're gonna search all their bodies. And we're gonna stack them in the van. But we're also gonna check the van to make sure the turret's not in the van because we don't want to get shot. So we'll get all this loot and we'll get all the information. I'll recover my drone and my my crawler, and then we'll drive out of here. We'll clean the blood off too on the back a little bit, you know, so we don't look fucking terrible. And then we'll go to the drop-off point and we'll get the hell out of here. We'll get the guard outside too, unless he drowned in rain. Just leave him face up. Oh shit, we left him face up. He died. So it shoots them as a warning to us. Position one of them. You know, we could just ask him, like, hey man, where the fuck's the turret? If he surrenders, let's see. Ultranova steps into the office bay threshold with the Ruger Super Warhawk up. The revolver looks too big in the gas haze, all black metal and bad intent. His respirator turns his voice into something flat and mechanical. Surrender or die. For half a second, Deke Voss understands the offer. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking wait for me to do the music. He is bleeding hard against the rear of the armored van. Gas tears stream down his face. Real is in front of him with the katana. Kurt is moving through the office. Ultranova has a cannon pointed at his chest. Get the music back. The smart thing would be to drop the wrench. Deke spits red-green phlegm onto the concrete and raises the wrench instead. Frag you! Ultranova fires. The Super Warhawk detonates inside the garage bay like a steel door kicked by God. The muzzle flash punches orange through the gas. The round slams into Deke's torso and drives him backward into the courier van. Why does he keep bleeding on the fucking courier van? Hard enough to rattle the rear doors. He drops to one knee, then crashes sideways to the concrete wrench clinging loose near his hand. He is still moving? This motherfucker? Barely. The key fob is still clipped to his belt, now hanging exposed over one hip. Okay, so I couldn't intimidate him. Man, my charisma's only 3? Bragging son of a bitch. Deke morale, refusal. So he succeeded his morale check, so that's why he didn't surrender. So I shot him. Okay, how much damage do we do? Friendly fire note. Shot hits Deke. Reel is not hit. Well, that's good. I'm glad Reel didn't get hit. Oh, that's right. Reel's in melee range. So let's see now. Damage. Working damage 10M physical. 2 attack success stage. Moderate to serious. But how is this guy alive? Final damage from shots. Serious stage down to moderate physical. Oh, because he survived his damage resistance. He has armor and coveralls. Wow. Damage accumulation. Deke already had serious physical from Reel's katana. Additional moderate physical pushes him to 9-10 physical boxes. Still technically alive, but barely functioning. Deke is knocked prone beside the rear of the van. He is alive, badly wounded, and barely moving. Wrench is loose near his hand. Fuck, we can take him now. We can like cuff him. You have restraints, right? Like if it's Kurtcoolbeans' turn, yeah, it is. The gunshot rolls around the garage and dies in the rain outside. No siren answers, no building alarm starts screaming, but the night heard it. Kurt is already moving. Kurt is in near the office bay threshold. Mass security kept ready. Deke is prone and nearly down by the rear of the van. The key fob is exposed on Deke's belt. The modules are pinging inside. Let's bag him. All right, what does Kurt do? Kurt. We might have to like patch up his wounds too. Because he'll just bleed out on us. Restrain first and gag. Not just yet. I want to ask him where the fuck that turret is. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to restrain him too. He's basically near death. You know, like I highly doubt you'll fail this one. But we asked him where the fuck the turret was. Kurt moves the second Deke hits the concrete. He does not wait to see whether the work is finished. He crosses the last few meters through thinning gas, drops a knee into Deck's shoulder blade, and yanks the wounded orc's wrench arm back before those huge fingers can find the handle again. Deke bucks once. It is still enough to shove Kurt half a meter sideways. Even dying, the orc is built like an industrial equipment, but the gas, blood loss, and Ultranova 5K's gunshot have taken the engine out of him. Kurt loops restraints around one wrist, then the other, cinches hard and drags the arms behind Deke's back until the plastic bites. Deke's breath comes in broken animal pulls through blood and gas. Ultranova keeps the Ruger on him. Where's the fragging turret? Deke rolls one eye toward the workbench and tries to laugh. It comes out as a wet cough. Bench swage. Ceiling track wasn't armed yet. Yeah, fuck yeah, we got him without the turret. Kurt follows the eye line and sees a crude manual control plate bolted near the tool rack. Red safety cover half open above the bay, tucked near the ceiling rail and pointed toward the roll-up door. This ugly little gun mounted, wrapped in a cable and shop grime. Not awake, not friendly. Real moves next. He does not help Kurt with Deke. Kurt has the orc pinned, and Ultranova has the revolver ready. Real goes to the nearest dangerous loose end, the guard by the lift. Man is down, hard, bleeding, weapon skidded under a toolbox. Real kicks the pistol farther away. Checks the guard is still bleeding, breathing, then binds his hands fast. It's not gentle, it's practical. Then Real turns his masked face toward the workbench guard and starts moving that way next. Deke tries to move on his phase. It's not much. He plants his forehead against the wet concrete, shoulders swelling against the restraints, tusks bared, trying to either snap the plastic or roll enough to crush Kurt under him. The restraints creak. Kurt leans in with his weight and drives a knee harder into the orc's back. Deke's strength fails him. He slumps, breathing hard, bleeding onto the garage floor. The turret stays dead. I say we knock the orc out, choke his ass out while you got him restrained. What does Ultranova 5 do on phase 8? Helps Kurt. Though I think combat, like once we knock him out, combat should be eventually over. But he's still resisting us. I think that's why combat's still going.
Let's go now, 15, faster now. Faster. 0.15.
Gotta be faster.
Fractions of a second. Hey, there we go.
We probably need to hack the van security. I don't think we need to do anything. I think we just need to drive out with the van. We were sent here to, they stole the van. So we were sent here to retrieve it. I think they put it in this chop shop to try to, you know, get shit out of it, or to wait for whoever paid them, because clearly these guys are like, you know, they're like hired thugs. Whoever paid them to steal the van, and that's why we're taking them hostage or taking them prisoner, so that the guys we're working for can question them later. We don't have to do it. Ultranova holds the Ruger just long enough to get both hands into the ugly work. Kurt has Deke's wrist wrenched back and cinched. The orc is still breathing hard enough to shake his whole chest, still trying to turn floor into leverage. Ultranova drops in from the side, gets an arm under Deke's jaw. Let's take hostages and load them. Yep. And clamps down across the carotenoids while keeping his weight away from the bullet wound. It is not a pretty technique. Ultranova is not real, he's not Kurt, but Deke is gassed, bleeding, prone, restrained, and half a heartbeat from the black already. Ultranova leans in through the respirator and grinds the words into the orc's ears. Go to sleep. Deke thrashes once, his boots scrape concrete. His shoulders bunch hard enough that the restraints creak. Kurt drives the wrists higher. Ultranova keeps the choke on. 3 seconds, 5, 8. Deke's fight drains out in pieces. First the boots stop scraping, then the shoulders loosen, then the big orc's head sags sideways into the wet concrete. With a heavy, final-looking thump. He is alive, unconscious, badly wounded, and no longer in the fight. The bay goes quiet except for the rain. Gas hiss dying in the crawler and the wet ticking of the van's cooling metal. The key fob hangs from Deke's belt, now completely exposed. The turret switch sits under its red cover near the workbench. The module pings from inside the rear of the armored van. Kurtcoolbeans action. Hey, let's patch him up and apply some more restraints. I'm gonna just say combat's over. I'm gonna put Real and Ultranova round up all the Should we arm the turret to take out the witnesses? Oh, you want to? I don't know. That could be more blood. I think the witnesses are worth more. Like if we take them in the van with us, we'll get paid more because we brought more. We brought the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? And then they can be exposed of later by, you know, whatever corporate entity hired us. We don't have to deal with it because we might get a bonus for this. I'm just typing a whole bunch of shit here. I'm basically saying like, we're gonna search all the guards. We're gonna tie them all up. We're gonna throw them in the van. I'm gonna get my crawler and my drone back. Make sure we get the boss in the office. Okay. So I'm gonna have Ultranova drives with Kurt in the back watching the prisoners. And Real will be in passenger seat. All prisoners are restrained and muffled. Okay. I think that covers. Oh shit. Yeah. We also wipe the blood off the back of the van. There we go. We need disguises that identify us. Okay. We also have disguise. There we go. Okay, I think that covers everything, right? Like we did it. We did everything we needed to do. The fight is over because nobody left Incline Agriculture Repair can stand up and argue about it. Kurt and Real keep the mask on while they work. Respirators stay sealed until the gas haze thins. Hoods and disguise layers stay up. No faces, no casual skin, no heroic poses for somebody's hidden camera. Kurt starts with Deke. The orc boss is unconscious, bleeding and still enormous. Kurt does not trust the first restraints. He adds a second set at the wrists, then ankles, then runs tape over the restraints so flexing against them costs skin and time. He pulls the band fob from Deke's belt and tosses it to Ultranova. Key. Deke makes one wet sound through his nose and stays out. Oh, that's right. We got to patch these fuckers up too. Is it still loading? I'll do that next. We just got to remember to patch them up. Deke makes one wet sound through his nose and stays out. Real goes through the bay like a man cleaning up after a bad dog. The guard by the lift gets tied again, tighter. The workbench guard gets rolled, searched, gagged, bound. The yard guard gets dragged in from outside, bleeding but breathing, and gets the same treatment. Ultranova and Kurt recover the office man too, the one who dropped behind the desk near the panic button. He is alive, gassed hard, and gets bound before he can become a story. Then they go back to G1, guard 1 outside by the utility box and haul him in too. One by one, the rivet dogs become cargo. Shit, we got them all alive. Crazy. The searches are quick but useful. Weapons get separated from bodies, radios get killed, and batteries pulled. Any obvious panic devices get moved out of reach. Kurt sweeps pockets for keys, cred sticks, notes, and job tags. Ultranova checks the office. Real checks bodies for ankle guns, knives, because Real believes in disappointment. The room tells its story. The rivet dogs were not masterminds. They were hired muscle and chop labor, but someone gave them a plan. On the office desk under a cracked plastic clipboard, Ultranova finds a printed route sketch with municipal work markings, not a full client name, but payment tag appears twice. Brass dog, boss, delivery after strip. There's also a cam code fragment written beside the phrase, buyer confirms casing seals before sunrise. That may count toward the hiring source bonus if Mrs. Brass can trace it. Kurt finds a cheap hand terminal near the workbench with photos of the van, 6 modules, and a message thread arranged in a handoff. It is password locked but not wiped. Okay, Ultranova opens the van. The fob chirps once too loud in the garage. Everybody freezes. No alarm follows. The armored rear door unlocks with a heavy mechanical clunk. Inside, strapped in the steel cargo rack, are 6 black industrial control modules. Each one is sealed in hard casing with serial tag stripped and dull tamper tape still intact. The locator chip matches 6 for 6. The modules are there. Then comes the dirty part. They load the prisoners into the van. Not pretty, not gentle. They put the worst wounded where they will not choke on their own blood if they ride gets... Is it still loading text? Oh my god. Okay, so I'll have to refresh. Okay. Deck takes 2 people to move and 1 curse from real that sounds personal. The office crewman goes in last. All prisoners are restrained, muffled, searched, and stacked in the cargo body space. Away from them. They're like stacked like fucking like dolls. Stacked one on top of each other. We later on make a human centipede out of him. Kurt stays in the back with them. Not because he likes it, because somebody has to make sure a half-conscious ganger does not turn delivery van into a coffin riot. Ultranova retrieves the crawler. The little machine is slick with condensation and chemical residue. Gas canister empty and hanging crooked from its bracket. He kills the canister, wipes the housing down, and stows it. The flying drone comes down from the roofline shadow a few seconds later, still intact, still wet, still buzzing softly like it knows it got away with something. Then Ultranova wipes blood off the back of the van. Not perfect, not forensic clean. There is no time to turn a chop shop bay into a corporate lab, but he gets the obvious smear off the rear plating, the handle area, and the worst of the blood grease. Loot them before returning the van. We did loot them though. We searched them. I assume that meant we looted them. I'll double check. The turret gets made safe last. Kurt flips the red cover down, cuts the manual switch line, and yanks the control lead from the workbench junction. The ceiling track mount stays inert. UN5K records his position with the pocket unit just in case Mrs. Brass wants proof for how close the night came of being worse. Finally, Ultranova gets behind the wheel. The van smells like gas, blood, oil, fear, and armored plastic. The dash boot's slow but alive. The fob works. The engine turns over on the second try, coughing once before settling into a heavy commercial idle. Real takes passenger seat, blade low, Ruger ready if needed. Kurt locks himself in the back with the prisoners and modules, respirator still on, pistol out. One boot braced against the floor as the bound rivet dogs groan and breathe through muffled gags. Ultranova pulls the armored courier van out of the Klein agriculture repair. No sirens yet, no alarm, but a stolen van full of stolen modules, wounded gang prisoners, and 3 masked runners has just become a moving problem. Cool. Let me just refresh here. Okay. Kurt in the back makes sure the wounded assholes don't bleed out while Ultranova goes to wait for the drop off. Okay, so Kurt, you're gonna make sure they don't bleed out, and then I'm gonna try and like contact Mrs. Brass for the drop off point so we can close out the mission. The van rose through Tacoma industrial dark with its headlights low and its engine sounding too loud. In the back, Kurt crouches among the bound rivet dogs with his respirator still on and his pistol within reach. He hates every second of playing nurse to people who would have shot him 10 minutes ago. But dead prisoners are heat, and dead prisoners in the back of a recovered courier van are worse. He starts with the bad ones. Guard 4 by the lift took Real's blade hard. Kurt cuts away enough cloth to pack the wound, ties pressure tight, and mutters through the mask, "You wake up and fight me, I stop being your doctor." Then guard 2, the yard guard, still bleeding from the katana hit near the fence. Pressure wrap, airway check, gag adjusted so the man can breathe but not scream. Then Deke. Deke is the problem. Bullet wound, blade wound, gash, shock, orc stubbornness. Kurt checks restraints first, then pulses, then breathing. He jams dressing where they need to go and keeps Deke on his side so the orc does not drown in his own blood and spit. He does not make them comfortable, he makes them alive. Up front, Ultranova keeps the armored courier van steady while Real watches mirrors, intersections, and every pair of headlights that stay behind them for more than 2 turns. Ultranova contacts Mrs. Brass through the meat channel, keeping the call short. Cargo recovered, van is drivable, 6 modules confirmed sealed. We also have Voss and the crew alive, restrained and muffled, need drop point. There is a pause. Not long, but long enough that Mrs. Brass is probably recalculating the night. Her voice comes back tight. "You have the van and live prisoners?" Rio looks over from the passenger seat like he can hear judgment through the phone. Ultranova says yes. Mrs. Brass exhales, "Fine. Change of drop. Do not bring the circus back to Mako." A data packet hits the pocket unit, a dead commercial yard near the docks, listed as Pure 41 overflow storage. South Gate, old refrigerated warehouse, 15 minutes if traffic stays dead. Less if Ultranova drives like he stole something, which he did. Southgate flash headlights twice, then once. My people will open. Keep the prisoners hooded and muffled. Do not volunteer names. Do not let Voss die before I decide whether he is useful. Another pause. If the modules are sealed and the van rolls in under its own power, the bonus stands. If your evidence points uphill, bring it. If you're being followed, do not come to the gate. Then the stolen courier van passes under a dead amber light. In the back... Oh, shit. Guards... Wait, in the back, bound guards groan through his gag. Kurt presses the pistol barely lightly against the floor beside his head. No dreams, remember? Real studies the side armor. The side mirror. Before we go to the gate, we should make sure we're not dragging a tail or a live tracker. Ultranova can see the dock road coming up ahead through sheets of rain and sodium glare. Well, we searched them. They don't have a tracker. Fuck it. Now we're just gonna drive it up. Rereading books? Oh, we are. It's almost over though. I gotta go to bed pretty soon, so I'm gonna try to close this out as quick as I can. Let's see here. You just finished a rerun of Morrowind? Oh, you played through Morrowind again? You ever try the Morrowind mods like that Tamriel rebuilt one? Did you use like open Morrowind? I might try to do Morrowind, but I might do the Tamriel rebuilt one in open Morrowind. That'd be kind of interesting. Use the open Morrowind. It's way better now, right? Like before it was kind of like not that good. Now it's like probably the best way to run Morrowind. All right, let me read this. Ultranova does not take the long way. He keeps the courier van pointed toward Pier 41 and lets the city slide past in rain. Sodium light. Oh, it was really good? Did you run it with any mods? You know, and wet concrete. The armored body handles like tired brick. Every turn feels too wide. No mods. Okay. Went vanilla. Every red light feels like an accusation. Real watches the mirrors without speaking. In the back, Kirk keeps the wounded prisoners alive and quiet while the modules stay strapped down like 6 black little secrets. No one checks the trackers. No one runs counter surveillance loop. The run is bleeding time and Ultranova wants it closed. Pier 41 looks abandoned in the way expensive people make things look abandoned. A dead commercial yard, old refrigerated warehouse, rusted chain link, broken sodium lamps. Shipping containers stacked like tombstones, but the south gate has fresh hinges and the shadows behind it are too still. Ultranova flashes the headlights twice. Pause. Once. A red pin light blinks from somewhere inside the yard. The gate rolls open just wide enough for the van. Wheeler murmurs, "That's not creepy at all." Ultranova drives in. The gate closes behind them. 6 figures in matte rain gear appear from behind containers with compact weapons held low. Not gangers. Not corpse sex uniforms either. Professionals paid to be temporary. One carries a scanner wand, another carries a med case. Mrs. Brass steps out from beneath the warehouse awning, brass hand bare in the rain. She looks at the van first, then at Ultranova. "You were fast." Real opens the passenger door. "We're also charming." Mrs. Brass does not look at him. That remains unproven. The rear door opens under guard. Kurt is back there with a pistol out, masked still on, one boot planted between Deke, Voss, and the module rack. The rivet dogs lie bound, gagged, and ugly with pain. Deke is pale under the green skin, still breathing because Kurt made it inconvenient for him to die. Mrs. Brass's med tech checks the prisoners fast. 2 bad, 1 very bad. Mrs. Brass looks at Deke. "Keep Voss breathing." Then she checks the cargo. 1 module, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All steel tamper tapes intact. Cases dirty but unopened. Her brass finger drum once again against the cargo rack. Good. Ultranova hands over the route sketch, the locked hand terminal, the com code fragment, and the payment handoff note from Klein's office. Miss Brass reads, "Brass Dog, Voss, delivery after strip," tagged twice. Her face changes by half a degree, enough to show it means something. This is useful. Real leans against the van. That means expensive. Mrs. Brass closes the evidence packet. It means your bonus applies. Objective verification. Job closeout. Cool. We got 5,000. Yeah, we got a $5,000 bonus. We delivered the van. We got a 6,000 bonus. Hell yeah. Mrs. Brass's crew unloads the modules first and the prisoners. Deke goes onto a folding stretcher. Guard 2 and Guard 4 get pressure checked and dragged to the separate van. The less wounded rivet dogs get hooded and moved like sacks of bad decisions. None of them are asked whether they consent. Kurt steps down from the back of the courier van last. He looks tired, annoyed, and faintly disappointed that nobody tried anything. Miss Brass transfers the payment through Mako's escrow channel in the clean cred stick handoff. The numbers resolve in Ultra Nova's pocket unit. Base balance, van bonus, hiring source bonus, all there. Damn, we made 29,000 total. So we already got advanced 9,000, got paid default fares. So let's see now who gets what. Ultra Nova gets 5,000. Real gets 5,000. Kurt gets 9,000 because he didn't get paid in the beginning. 2,000 ignored, left as rounding slush. So I have about 32,000 now. Mrs. Brass watches the last module vanish into her people's vehicle. You did not do this quietly. It was pretty nice, right? I mean, that's pretty good. So the way money works in Shadowrun is like we can use, it's primarily used for like legwork and like bribing cops and maybe getting a lawyer and stuff, but we can also use it to buy better gear. But it has like a lot of purposes, not just like buying gear and leveling up, which is like expensive. All right, let's see now. She looks toward the van full of blood, gas residue, and restrained gangers. But you did it fast, and you brought me more than I asked for. Then she nods once. Mako will hear you delivered. If I have more work suited for your crew's particular style of problem solving, you may hear from me again. Real says, particular style, that's polite. Mrs. Brass, it was not meant as a praise. The rain keeps falling, the gate opens again. This time for the runners to leave on foot. Behind them, the courier van, the prisoners, the modules, and the problems all disappear into Pure 41's dead warehouse lights. Run closed. Okay, here's our leveling up. So I got 4 karma. I got +4, that's not bad. Kurt got +4, and then Real got +4. The job is closed. Maybe. Okay. Let's do the leveling up. Well, we can always hand wave that, you know, we all got public transportation and went our separate ways after the run. But I want to like see what we can level up for each character. And then maybe like, you know, in a couple of runs where we have a lot of cash, we'll see what we can buy. Is this just chat? Yeah, it's basically just ChatGPT. It's ChatGPT with like loaded files into it so that we can save it. That it keeps track of things. Like it's ChatGPT, but I loaded in like a bunch of Shadowrun books, so it knows how to play the game. The Shadowrun books? The Shadowrun books you can easily get at like here, let me see if I can find it.
A revolutionary experience for developers.
The I'm trying to find where I found it. But now this link. Oh, how do I get it to remember things? I save a zip, and the zip remembers everything, like all the character sheets and stuff. And I have it make the zip when I'm done with the chat so that it actually remembers what the hell happened. And then I load it in, because you make a project, right? And then you could load files into the project. And so I loaded a bunch of like zip files into it that are like the books. Trying to find... You know, like what's it called? I loaded all this into it. See, does that link work? Let's see. So like there you can see that it has all the Shadowrun books, roughly. Or at least the 3rd edition books. There's another link that I found that had like all the books. But yeah, Internet Archive's your buddy. Oh shit, no, here it is. Found it. Yeah, this one. There you go. That's the one. That one has all the editions roughly. I mean, the only ones worth playing are, 3rd edition, but no. Is this a program you're loading all this stuff into? It's a project file. Let's see if I can show it real quick. So you make, like you have your chat, right? You can load files in here. And so what I did was I loaded all the books that I could find in there. And I zipped them so that they could all stay there. So this is actually like a shitload of books. And then I make a Bible, and the Bible is what saves the game. And so that way I can play. I also have Dungeons and Dragons. Didn't I? Yeah, I found it out when I was modding a game that you can make a project and put files in the project and have it read the files. So I did that. I also have Dungeons and Dragons. I have Earth Dawn, and I have a Star Trek RPG as well. But I feel Shadowrun's the best one to stream because it's like, Let's see now. Let's see what we can level up. Found the loaded sheets. So let's see now. Advancement Ultranova 13. I can level up pistols by 1. That might be okay. I can specialize in my pistol. I can get stealth. I can get electronics. I can level up car, though car's not really that useful unless we get in a car chase or something. I'm gonna go with pistols. All right, let's see what Kurtcoolbeans. You have 12 karma. You can level up either lock picking, security systems, stealth, pistols, edged weapons. You can level up the sword. You can specialize in the sword, which costs less karma, which might actually be a good buy because you're probably not going to use another type of melee weapon. You're probably just always going to use your sword. And so that'll leave 4 remaining. You can't really level up with that, but you can bank the 4 if you want to go that route. ChatGPT recommends lockpicking, but say fuck that. Yeah, this one's for you. You can... Like you got lockpicking that you can level up, security systems, stealth, pistols, edge weapons. You're pretty good at most of this anyways. Like you're like a 4 on all of them. You have other good options too. You have athletics. Unarmed, you can level that one up. Chemical handling, I guess you can level that up. Negotiation, car, electronics. Or you can keep banking the points. But I mean, 12 karma is a lot of karma. You can, just depends, like, I don't know, like if you wanted to go pistols or sword. You want to go stealth? Okay, so you'll go stealth. I'm gonna go pistol, and then what's Real gonna do? Let me write this down. Since I play as Real, let me see. What should he level up? I'm gonna have him level up stealth too. And then what I'll do is I'll close it out. I'll save the game. Oh shit. That's right, there's downtime in training. So that means that for some shit you might actually have to pay a trainer or take like a week to train the skill. Most of these jobs are heavily reliant on stealth. Stealth is always a good option, especially if we start doing like really complex runs. Like I turned down a complex run before we did this one, which was like a corporate run, and it was like a 3-floor corporate building, and I was like, I don't know, it's just me and Real. We're fucked. We need like a full crew for that, like 5 people. You know, preferably like a hacker, like a legit hacker, maybe a mage. You know, people that are like a full party. Because the other thing too is, you know, even we're following Shadowrun rules and shit like that. But if we were really playing Shadowrun, we would be like 5 or 6 people. You know what I mean? So you'd have like a crew. So luckily though, this is kind of balanced around like just me. Like maybe 2 other people if I get like a helper or something, which again works well for the stream because that means that if someone wants to be in it, I can get like, you know, 5 runners. If we had a 5 or 6 runner crew, we can also play the official modules if we had like 4 players, because there were official adventures made, and we can run those too, and those will be more interesting than the sandbox AI ones, because the AI mines those modules to make our runs, right? But the actual like handmade ones are more like they'd be a little bit more interesting because a human being made them. Okay, let's see now. Locked. Okay, karma advancement chosen. Okay, so it's still going. So yeah, so there is training logic. So that means that. But most of us can self-train. So, okay, so that just means what we need is like the time for the training, which could be the downtime between the next thing. These are now the chosen advancement tracks for the next downtime. Okay, so we still need to have downtime, which would probably be like a week or whatever is required for this stuff to work. So that should be applied afterwards, because odds are we'll lay low after this. I might even just do the downtime now. Actually, let me ask, how much downtime is needed? Yeah, we're going hard fucking core with these RPG rules from these books, man. We got fucking Shadowrun training. I enabled all the hardcore rules and all the optional rules. Might as well. Yeah, like I feel like the optional rules like at first I was on the fence about training, but I think it kind of works because we also have like, you know, all these like weird clocks, you know, like we could get attacked or something, or like, you know, the heat like from the cops and stuff, you know, we have to wait for that to cool down anyways, so we will have downtime. I don't know why it's checking forums and stuff for this. We lost some heat. Oh, it's based on our intelligence skills, huh? I also have Neverconquer as he has connections with Lone Star, so we have like a $2,000 bribe that we do monthly on Lone Stars to keep, you know, he has like a plant. And Lone Star's the cops, right? So like, you know, that should help like hide evidence and stuff. Well, nothing's really been tracked to us yet. Then, okay, so Karma spent plus ×7 training days, then a skill test against new skill rating +2. Can reduce that time. Okay, so but yeah, blah blah blah. So how much time? It'll take me 47 fucking days to level up pistols to 5. 56 days, 40 calendar days, interruption threshold. All three are pretty convenient here. Okay. Okay, rating 6 is elite and slow to train. 5 and real stealth are easier to justify. Okay. It's about a month to level up our guys. Hey, let me ask you, are you, because that's a long fucking time. You know, armor spent plus times 7 days. That's insane. So like a full week per karma. I mean, on one hand, it's kind of realistic. You know, like to raise our level, you know, especially when we're already kind of good at what we do. But on the other hand, it's also like, you know, this might be a little too much, you know, I might have to reduce that. I'm challenging it because that seems like an exorbitant amount of time. Yeah, you better get the table of contents in PDF in page 104 and 105. Yeah. Why did it use scribe that time? Like, screw that. You have all the books in source. Read the book. I mean, if that's how it's written, then we'll honor it. But like, I just want to make sure. I could also house rule it and make it half the time, because I feel like, you know, I mean, I guess we could just lay low for a month. We did murder some people like a week ago. Realistically, I think you would just lay low for a month, huh? Like, we made like fucking $20,000 or $30,000. Like, I think in a real life mafia scenario or whatever, or a street crime scenario, you would kind of just not do anything. Not like it matters. It's not like we're actually going to be waiting like a whole month. It's time passes immediately for us. I don't think any of these characters have any pressing things that they need to do, right? Like, they don't have to, like, you know, there's not like a quest that they're doing. I know I got to go to bed soon in real life, so once this is done, I'm going to update the Bible and we're done. Come on. Takes it a while for it to read this stuff. It has problems with the images, so like, you know. But I want a real ruling. This would be like if you tell the dungeon master, or the game master or whatever, you're like, hey, I want you to actually check it up in the book. Like, I challenge it. Show me the page. 244 and 246. Okay. On the companion. So I believe the companion book has all the extended rules and hardcore rules. Because there's the core book. Next time I should take my katanas. Oh, but Ultra Nova doesn't have a katana though. He's not a katana dude. You're thinking of Real, the other character I was playing as, and now I made another one. I have two. Because I was like, Real's kind of fun, but I might as well just put me in the game. So I made me like a guy that handles remote control stuff and hacking, and then Real's just a street samurai, which I can use since I made him. I can use him as like an added character if if we're short one guy in the party. If we can get like a full crew together. What we're missing is a mage. Let's see, what else could we have? I mean, the mage is the biggest hole we have. So Real graduated to ninja. Yeah, he's like a dude that I call in every now and then. I might play as him again too, because I can switch characters. But I kind of wanted to pick a character that most people wouldn't run in the tabletop, which is he has the two skills that people don't like from Shadowrun. He has hacker and rigger, so he's able to control drones and stuff. But in tabletop, people hate that because when you're hacking, just one player is playing the game, and when you're doing the drone stuff, only one player is playing. But the thing about that is what's it called? We're using an AI. So, we don't have to sit around while I hack, you know what I'm saying? Oh, good. He was wrong. I challenged him. Okay, says training is GM controlled and can be a short and simple mechanic, requiring a skill test to see if the skill can be learned or improved. The target number is twice the skill rating sought. Does not give a hard months of downtime formula for skill increases. The errata also confirms page are relevant improvements of skills. Okay. Corrected downtime. Okay, 5 to 7 days. Yeah, that's a lot better. A week is a lot better. Like, it takes you, what, 14 days to level up stealth? Yeah, I'll take that over fucking 47 days. That's ridiculous. Okay, the old 70-84 training day clocks are retracted unless you intentionally... No, I don't. We'll use the corrected downtime and take it so that everyone levels up. All right, so then we're going to take the downtime so everyone gets the level up, and then I'm going to save. And just hope nothing happens during the downtime. Like, oh, I don't know, the retaliation hit happens. Though I did put a hard rule that nothing can happen to, like, the baby or my family. So... because I didn't want to go through that scenario. Cool, we got a montage. Shit, yeah. We used the corrected Shadowrun downtime approach. Days of focused practice, then the improvement test. Since you said to take enough routine downtime for everyone to level up, the team lays low and trains until all 3 upgrades are locked in. Lifestyle. Routine costs covered by lifestyle abstraction. No special new purchase. Lone Star bribe retainer month is still active. Tone. Quiet routine. Relaxing downtime. No forced crisis during this stretch. The next 3 weeks are not glamorous. There are noodles at midnight, baby sleep schedules, rain on cheap windows, and clean chemical stink off the crawler drone. Ultranova learning how to live without the cover job's clock telling him where to be. He spends mornings and late afternoons at a dirty indoor range where nobody asks why a man wants to become better with heavy pistols. He works the basics until they stop being basic. Sight, picture, trigger press, clearing leather, reloads under stress, shooting after movement, shooting after somebody else, shooting when his hands are tired and his eyes burn from bad sleep. At home, the Ruger becomes less of a cannon and more of a tool. Improvement test. Okay. So we have to pass a fucking improvement test too? Well, it doesn't matter. I leveled up. Okay. Kurt trains like a man trying to become a bad roomer. He works in alleys, rooftops, dead lots, and guttered retail corridors. Not dramatic ninja direct, just timing, foot placement, line of sight, trash underfoot, camera angles, how rain changes sound, how long a board guard really watches a doorway, how to move with gear without sounding like a junk drawer falling downstairs. He fails the first few days because rating 6 is not pretty good. Rating 6 is professional grade quiet. So he keeps going. By the 3rd week, he can cross a room full of broken glass with a shoulder bag full of tools and make less sound than a bad thought. Okay, so you leveled up your stealth. You had to do it twice though, because you failed, I guess. Oh wait, no. Oh shit, that's a rough test to do 6. But you did it. Real strain is different. He's already fast, already deadly. His problem is not moving quietly. It is moving quietly while wanting very badly to solve problems with violence. So he drills restraint, ambush angles, waiting, not taking the first opening just because it's there, crossing the ground in armor, keeping a katana from tapping a wall, breathing slow while somebody walks close, smell the cigarette on him. Just harder to hear coming. Okay, so character updates. So everyone got updated. Oh shit. The world during the brass recovery job does not hit the public news as a massacre. That is good. Flying agriculture repair goes cold. By the time any official carries the van, the modules, Deke, Boss, and the useful prisoners are already gone. The rivet dogs do not loudly retaliate because our local leadership got bagged and delivered to someone with cleaner teeth and worse lawyers. Miss Brass sends one short message through Mako after the first week. Delivered, verified. Voss survived. Your evidence was useful. You were remembered as effective, not quiet. Glass Rat sends nothing for a while, which is almost polite. The candle rumor from the old Tacoma relay job keeps drifting around the shadows, but no fresh hit lands during the downtime. Never Conquer's Lone Star retainer continues to keep the background heat soft, not gone. At home, Ultranova gets something rare. Mornings without an alarm for a fake job. Evenings with Cosmic and Ultra Baby where nobody is bleeding in the back of a van. Rain on the windows, range, stink on his jacket, UN in his count, a cleaner trigger pull, quieter crew. Seattle keeps moving outside. Once it does not kick the door in. And there you guys go. We're done. Update the Bible. So I'm going to save. Thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. It's been wonderful. The agent knows about the Ultra Baby. Well, no, yeah, I gave the AI, I gave myself a fake, the family I have. I tried to transpose me into it. You're triggered. But yeah, see, this is what I do. When I update the Bible, it makes a whole new zip for me, and then I put it in source. I delete the old one. Then we just go from there, and that saves all the character sheets, all the quests, ideally all the characters, and it saves a lot of the core engine that runs the rules of the game to make sure that the rules are followed. But even then, I still have to challenge it, you know, like I did with the whole downtime thing. But yeah, you guys don't have to stick around for that. It's just this takes like the longest amount of time. So I'll see you guys next time on the Ultra stream. It's been fun, guys. You guys have a good night.